Yeah, so with the hey, so what do you have here? Yeah, just doing Druid, Circle the Moon. Cool. Okay, not into land. Nice. Devotion, of course, because in land is the default basic rules one, right? I'm not being dumb. I don't have basic rules, so I don't know for certain. Um, I've just always, I've always, what small. Can get back a little bit more. What is it says? Hook build. Oh, does it mention it? I believe it's well. Yeah, land's first, but I believe it's land. I think it's land. There's no actually way to know. So built into PHP. But so paladin, yeah, feats. Some fill the revised feats appear. Okay, hopefully some of the ones that I've problems with. More spells are ready for playtesting with focus on smite spells, find familiar and find seed. Ooh, find familiar for druid. That's probably what that means because paladins have find familiar. Let's go. Um, Lose glossary. Yeah. Okay. Yada. Yeah, we. Oh, advertisements. Okay, yeah, it's business stuff. Yada. We already know this. Anything different here? There's, alright, Ash was saying that artificers in there. Is a divine or primal magic who focuses healing, utility, and defense. Diplomacy who have the FG's feature and elements of other classes. Arcane magic who focus on utility and destruction. Units of combat who deal and endure many wounds. Yeah, okay. Mm-hmm. Yada. Druid. I feel like I need to read it. I imagine it's probably the same for the PHP, and I don't really care enough to read it. I'm gonna not look at the class list. Don't you include the spell listing? Yeah, it's looking different. Child. Don't want to see features at a time. Also, is it lagging? I haven't streamed and recorded at the same time. It when it's okay when it's scroll causes problems. Okay, just be aware of that. Channel nature. Proficiencies because it's brought it earlier. Well, okay. Proficiency also was no scimitars, sag, but do short swords are not simple weapons though. So, arcana, animal handling. I should have put normal druid. Yeah, I don't want to have to deal with. I'm recording now because because I don't want to deal with trying to cut out. Cause I'm working on a those who aren't watching the stream actually. I'm working on a skill tree class system currently, and I have no notes that there's new one DDR cooks when has been one since November, so it's like popping in. And so they're like, oh, so I'm gonna go to it in the middle of the stream, so but I have to something on both sides. I'm like, I don't have the time or energy to do that, so like I'll just record and hopefully it works. So this is problems here, kind of, but so Arcana, Animal Handling, Insight, Medicine, Nature, Perception, Religion, Survival. Arcana, Insight, Medicine, Nature, Perception, Religion, Survival. I believe it's the same. So, Tranquil, Druidic Focus, Core Staff. Okay, so Druidic Focus, which is a staff. Okay, interesting. Explorer's Pack, Herbalism Kit, Leather Armor, Shield, Sickle, 9 GP. Normally you have Wooden Shield as any simple weapon. Oh, leather and shield. So you get leather armor and shields, but no medium armor. Makes sense. But no metal armor piece. Yeah, that makes sense to me. Yeah, shield, sickle, any simple weapon. So sickle, I guess, or core staff. And then scimitar. So yeah, no scimitar, get sickle instead of scimitar. And then simple weapons, but I mean, sickle is all in there as well. Scimitar, which or type it's all in there. No. Wooden shield, scimitar, and then leather armor, explorer's pack, and then they get a core staff for the true focus. But okay, back to channel nature. So it's light channel divinity, but it's not okay. The magic of nature infuses you. Tapping into that power, you can create various magical effects. You start with one specific wild shape. Interesting. So rather than having used it as a wild shape that we have in the past, like the whole circle of stars or halo of spores, where it calls back to say or the wildfire spirit. No, you know what I'm talking about. Rather than calling by saying you can use you can probably use a wild shape to do this. You instead you use a challenge nature, which could be wild shape, or it could be something like elemental wild shape, which is probably not called that anymore, I'd imagine. Or like I said, the circle with what's the circle thing called? I don't know. I can easily find out though. Strike form. Or Strike form, or Halo Sports, etc., etc. Some wildlife spirit, yada yada yada. Other druid features give additional challenge effect options each time you use this challenge of nature. You choose which effect to create from among those you have from this class. You can use challenge nature twice. You begin one expanded use when you finish a short rest. Interesting, but all expanded uses, and you begin all expanded use when you finish a long rest. I don't know if I've never thought of doing it that way, of once per short. Actually, I should probably zoom in a little more just. I've never thought of like doing this once per short. You get one short rest and all long rest. How has that not crossed my mind before? Each band doing cough. You gain additional uses when you regain certain druid levels, as shown in we saw earlier. I ignored it because I didn't want to pay attention to it. But let's fucking go. If a challenge nature effect requires a same throw DC, yeah, it's just playing DC DC. Okay, I'm gonna quickly look at the uses before I go into this. So 2 to 3 at 5th, 4 at 9th. Interesting 9th. Okay, it matches up with solo spells, 5th spells. Will we have one at 13th? No. No, it says it. Wait, does that match up with Barbarian? Well, but Rage, because it works a similar way. Granted, Barbarian has infinite at 20th, but hopefully the same way. Well, it's the way Arch Druid works, so I hope it's the same way. If that's not the same way, well, it's like 18th, not 20th, because of Epic Boons and stuff. But Rage is 2, so 3 at 3rd. 3 at 5th, so that's not the same. Though I wonder if Barbarian will be changed, though. And then at 6th, it's 4, which is, here you got 4 at 9th. No, it's not the same. But I can understand, because Rage and this challenge nature doing here is probably, like, challenge nature is probably better. Because, like, I would consider Wild Shape better than Rage for the most. Has more utility than Rage. And because all Rage has drawbacks and stuff, so there's a equivalent exchange thing going on with Rage. You don't have a Wild Shape, so. And Rage also gives you a freaking amount of HP. Well, at least with Moon Druid. So, Wild Shape. As a magic action, yes, but. It's magic. Is magic what it was called earlier, or was it called cast spell? No, cast spell was called originally. I think magic is what it's called. Yeah, whatever. As a magic action, you can transform into a form that you've learned for this feature. You start knowing one form. Okay, wording's weird, but Amel of the Land, which is just detailed. Oh, it's like, okay. This is like the Tasha's called everything updates to Beastmaster Ranger, where you have the Beast of the Land, Beast of the Sea, Beast of the Air, or whatever it is. And so rather than you, I don't know how to feel about that. I'll see. Well, I'll kind of do when I see the stat block for it, because I assume it's gonna be like stat block. But I don't know how I feel about that. Because I like having different things. Like, I can go become a giant elk, I can become an Allosaurus, I can become something different. Granted, I would also become the same thing, so, like, should I really care? May not. Also, but also the ability to change your size. But we'll see. We don't know what the limitations of this are yet, but I feel probably, because, like, becoming a fly for, like, spying and stealth things versus it's like, you can become a fly and, like, no one's gonna, or you can become a fly or a mosquito, whatever, no one's gonna see you, and they can be off of stealth stuff. But you become like an eagle, or like whatever other things are flying, you can't. Also, other way around, becoming a Quetzalcoatlus, which is a huge creature, being able to fly other creatures around places. Whereas becoming an eagle, you can't do that. So, I think this should probably try with giant eagle as well. But yeah, Wild shape. That's a magic. Yeah, so that which is due to the wild shape section later in this class's description. You stay in that form for a number of hours equal to half your druid level. Also, you gain this at first level. You run in second. That's what they're learning. No, I think it's a half your druid level, or until your wild shape. Use your wild shape again, have the incapacitated condition, or die. Yeah, so basically all things. You can also end wild shape early as a bonus action. Right. While in a form, its game statistics replace yours, and your ability to handle objects is determined by the form's limbs rather than your own. Interesting that they mentioned that, because if it's all the same form, then it would always be no. Because like my assumption, beast of the land would be like a wolf or a tiger or something like that, or a panther or something like that. But hands, then you could be an ape or something, unless there's a third option. Unless you have like land, trees, arboreal, whatever it is, water, and air. Which then, okay, yeah. Trees be like a monkey or an ape, whatever. And because then you have hands. Then nothing else you don't. But forms limbs rather than your own. Odd wording, but you retain your personality, memories, ability to speak in wild shape. No, duh. Well, it's the way it's always been. So, the intelligence, wisdom, and charisma scores are not mentioned. That's one thing that's different. You lose access to all other features such as the ability to cast spells. You can't cast straight on one. So kind of simplifying a little bit. Because originally you have this whole block of information. So yeah. When you transform, you choose whether your equipment falls to the ground in your space or merges into your new form. Equipment that merges with your form has no effect until you leave the form. Yeah, okay. Number of uses equal to the percentage bonus. That number is too generous for a multi-class character who could take only one level in the Cleric and get ever increasing uses. That's the character gains the level. In the Druid and the Paladin, we have therefore given Child Divinity and Child Nature a number of uses equal to tier tied to the class. When we release the next version of Cleric, you'll see similar treatment there. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. I didn't really thought about it too much, but yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, because when thinking about the stuff in the past, I haven't really been thinking much about multi-classing and the effects of that. So, but Druidic, the secret language of Druids. You can speak the language and use it to leave impeded messages. I don't think I ever specified it being a the language that's spoken here. Yeah, does it being spoken? Druids. No, you can't speak language. I'm being dumb. You and others who know this language automatically spot such messages. Others spot the message's presence with a 6 level DC 15 investigation check, but can't decipher it without magic. Yeah, okay. Same thing before. Spellcasting. Telling the mystical forces of nature, see the player's handbook for spellcasting. The information below details how you use those rules as a druid. Per spells, you have the following. So this is the default thing they give you, like, so you don't have to choose. So cure wounds, druidcraft, produce flame, and thunderwave. Okay, I would do shillelagh possibly, but also produces range. So, but again, it's just what the recommendation. It doesn't really matter at all. And imagine they probably give shillelagh the next time you get a level, because they have the whole list of spells. At least they had in the past. Those are spells when you have upgrades. When you reach into the spell, which one is I imagine they probably get shillelagh pretty quickly. Alternatively, which would make sense. So, honestly, if it's that way, it's actually honestly, I think the way I'd probably do it that way. So you do druidcraft, produce flame, then you get later on you get shillelagh, and then later on I don't know what you do later on, but not sure. Like, I would take Prowl Savagery, but I don't think Prowl Savagery should be the one they list. So, also, Prowl Savagery is XG, which is they have not yet to deal with anything outside PHB spell wise. So, I actually went through and did a whole list of the different spells. That kind of trying to get an idea of like what spells you'd have based on other spells not in PHB, but yeah. Whenever you finish a long rest, you can meditate and replace any spell you have prepared for this class with another primal spell of the same level. Oh, I skipped a piece. Alternatively, you can choose to prepare 2 zero spells, also and 2 first level spells of your choice. Right, yeah, because spells are now based around your spell slots, and so you have those spells known based on your spell slots, not based on your level plus to your wisdom modifier. That's would be normal for Druid and D&D 5e. So yeah, whenever you finish a long rest, you can meditate and replace any spells. Yeah, it was for this piece. Yeah. Any spell, so it doesn't specify 0. So you should be able to replace cantrips. At House in the class, you can prepare more spells, as shown in the Druid table. The numbers there determine the number of different spells you can prepare. The spells you can prepare for each level. For example, as a 4th level Druid, you can prepare 3 different spells. There are 3 different 0 spells, 4 different 1st level spells, and 3 different 2nd level spells. Yeah. Spell slots. When you cast a prepared Druid spell, you expand a spell slot. The number of spells that you have for level higher is the same number as the different spells you can prepare of each level, as shown on the Druid table. For example, a 5th level Druid, you as a 5th level Druid, you have 4 first level spells, 3 second level spells, and 2 third level spell slots. Spellcast ability, your wisdom is your spellcast ability for Druid spells. Spellcasting focus, you can use a Druidic focus as your spellcasting focus for the spells you prepare for this class. Okay. Second level, Nature's Aid. You learn 2 more ways to use your talent divinity. Healings. So okay, we're getting new usages here. There's more than just things. Also, I'm scared for this. Healing Blossoms. As a magic action, you can channel healing energy that appears as blossoming flowers. Choose a point within 30 feet of yourself, and spectral flowers appear for a moment in a 10-foot radius sphere. Sounds almost like Healing Spirit so far. I might turn. Well, I'll turn the switch first to the mic. Turn the camera to the mics. I'll face away from the mic doing that. But for a moment, another point. Then roll a number of d4s equal to your wisdom modifier. Okay, minimum 1 dice, obviously. And add the dice together. The total is the number of hit points you can distribute among the creatures in that sphere. Okay, you decide the number of hit points that are restored to each of those creatures, deducting the healing from the total. Yeah, so it's not like Healing Spirit. It's more like Mass Healing Word, kind of, sort of. Yeah, no. So it'd be like Mass Healing Word. Yeah. So it's a range multiple target healing thing. It being D4s is like, well, like, so an average if you have 5, if you have wisdom modifier plus 5, then you'd be rolling 5 D4s, which would be an average of 5, 10, 12 HP. Divided across them with that few number of usages is pretty garbage. Like 12, that's like that is nothing. That is pitiful. It is because like massing words to all creatures. So which is D4s as well. It is a fewer number. Also, that's your wisdom modifier as well. So like that is like I said, that is pitiful. I think it should probably upscale. At least it should, at the very least, it should upscale. Because like Hallow's 12 HP card divided across multiple creatures is nothing. It's just range scaling of 12 HP on average. So like maximum is 20. So again, not a lot. Like 5 creatures get 4 HP, or 4 creatures get 5 HP. Like obviously divide it unevenly, but like that's not really worth it. I would never use it over. I would never expend that over. I would never expend the usage of that. Okay. At low levels, I might, like a level 1, because 12. If I have a wisdom of plus 5, let's say a level plus 4. I'm healing it out of 4 HP. If I'm healing out of 4 HP, wait, brain, hold on. You're doing dumb. Out of 10 HP. That's a lot more significant at lower levels when you're doing like maximum of 10 HP. So like, that's more useful. However, how's 5d4 at 20th level is nothing. It means literally nothing to you because you divide across creatures. Is it to everyone? Then okay, that's actually good. Maybe this upgrade later on, so it's across everyone. Maybe the die type may there might be a later feature that increases the die type. So holding on that. Hopefully that is the case. Otherwise, this is a bad feature. Like, it's something I would never use over Wild Shape. So, let's see. Wild Companion. You can summon. Okay. You can summon a nature spirit that assumes an animal form to aid you. As a magic action, you can expend one use of your child nature to cast a 5 familiar spell without material components. When you cast a spell this way, the familiar is a Fae, and it disappears when you finish a long rest. Okay, long rest piece is stupid, but let's first go check out Find Familiar. So I don't get spoiled anything. Control F. Find familiar. Okay. Tendency were the charcoal, incense, and herbs that must be consumed by a fire and a brass brazier. That's probably what it is normally. Hour. So you can do it as an action, so that's a big difference. So so yeah, so you're getting it as a magic, so as an action you're summoning it. And it's without material components. So it has a benefit to it. You gain the service of an otherworldly spirit, which manifests as a little animal in an unoccupied space of your choice within range. This creature uses the otherworldly familiar stat block. Okay. If you already have a familiar, so most times when you're having creatures that you choose, it's now saying you're just using this stat block. But if you already have a familiar from the spell, that familiar transforms into the new one, but retains its memories. Spell that familiar transforms into the new one but retains its memories. You don't get a second familiar. Whenever you cast a spell, choose the familiar creature type: celestial, fae, or fiend. The wild familiar companion thing walks into fae, which is what I expected to see though. So, also choose an environment: air, land, or water. Okay, again, not expected, but like, no, it doesn't surprise me. The familiar resembles a tiny animal of your choice, such as an owl, cat, or frog. Yep, that is native to the chosen environment. Both choices, creature type and environment, determine certain traits in the stat block. Combat: the familiar is an ally to you and your companions in combat. It shares your initiative count, but it takes its turn immediately after yours. Select the beast companion of ranger, the paladin of the updated ranger. And most of the spells, like summon spells and stuff like that. So, in a basic commands, no action required by you, but the familiar cannot attack unless you use reaction on its turn command to do so. Okay, reaction rather than bonus action or action, so it's an upgrade. But again, you're probably not doing much damage. If you don't issue any commands, the familiar takes the dodge action and uses its move to avoid danger. Okay. Disappearance of the familiar. The familiar disappears if it drops to 0 hit points, if you dismiss it as a bonus action, or if you die. Right, yeah. When it disappears, it leaves behind anything it was wearing or carrying. If you cast the spell again, you decide whether you summon the familiar that disappeared or a different one. Okay. Remote viewing. As a magic action, you can see what your familiar sees and hear what it hears until the end of your next turn. Okay, sure. At high levels, you can when you cast a spell using a second level spell of second level or higher, use this higher level wherever the spell's level appears in that level. Okay. So like with the several of the summoned creature spells, like summon fae, summon fiend, etc., etc. Armor class 10 plus 2, land only. So 12 AC of 12 for land, then plus 1 per spell level, natural armor. Okay, so 13 for land, 11 for water and air. He plays 2 plus 2 per spell level, so that's never. Yeah. So full for everybody at level 1. I'm assuming level 1 because that's what I'm caring more about here. Speed 30 feet, climb with 30 feet for land, fly with 30 feet in air, swim with 30 feet in water. Okay. Pretty much expected. So, then we have strength. Okay, yeah, strength of 3, dexterity of 14, constitution of 10, talent of 10, wisdom of 14, charisma of 8. Okay, Dark range of 60 feet. Okay. Telepathy for 120 feet. Only between you and the familiar. Perfume must be to yours. So can breathe air and water if it's water. If you're water one. Okay. Extra dimensional escape. Recharges after long rest. Okay. When the familiar would drop to 0 hit points, it instead drops to 1 hit point and vanishes into an extra dimensional space. Interesting. Okay. Leave behind anything it was wearing or carrying. It remains there for 1 hour or until you summon it as a magic action, and then it reappears in your space. Cool. I like that. I think kind of like, so you're pretty much to die, be dead. Okay. Actions. Other release scratch. Melee spell attack. Plus your spell type modifier to hit. Reach 5 feet. On hit, 1 plus the spell's level radiant damage. So 2 basically. Radiant if it's less psychic damage if it's Fey or necrotic damage if it's Fiend. Interesting. Okay. Random deliver spell. When you cast a spell with a range of touch, the familiar can deliver the spell within its touch, within its reach. It says touch, but to do so, the spell must be within 120 feet of you. Okay, yeah. So, like what we've seen before. So yeah, back to where we were before. Druid solo. So it's low to what we expected. So either Druids, the Circle of the Moon subclass or another Druid subclass of your choice. The Circle of the Moon is detailed after the Druid's class description, and other subclasses will appear in future Unearthed articles. What curiosity. I was talking earlier how like it doesn't say which one it is. You would just know way to know which subclass was original and base rules from within. You can't tell based on what's in the PHP what subclass was originally, but actually that might be the case. Yet it no, it's a Circle Lannister tournament, so no. I maintain my previous statement. Okay. A subclass is a specialization that grants you certain special abilities at certain druid levels for the rest of your career. Okay. I just didn't expect the word career. Adventuring career makes sense, but like I just didn't put the word career there. Well, I guess it does imply that then once you are if you retire, you lose all your spellcast abilities, but like that's not what it's saying. But like it kind of does seem to be applying that. But you gain each of your subclass features that are of your druid level and lower. This spell class's description tells you, well, yeah, it's what we expected to have seen. Third level being the only change. So yeah, feat, ASI, ability for feat or another feature choice. Yeah. For the Might of the Land, your connection to the land deepens, empowering the animal of the land form of your wild shape. You unlock the form's climb speed and multi-attack. Interesting. Okay. I should probably go look at the stat block. Where is it? Okay, it's multiple ones. Never mind. So feature, cool. Okay, we expected to see. Also, Druid lines up with the levels they've had of, well, beyond first level, but beyond third level, beyond the first feature. They have 6, 10, 14, so it lines up the same. So nothing should be changing. A wild form. You learn a new form for your wild shape. Animal of the Sea, which is described in this wild shapes section later in this class. So yeah, on the whole feature thing, Paladin's not in that case is not. That's not for Paladin. So it'll be interesting what's done with Paladin. It's one of the ones that I've been very curious about. I was like, what the frick happens with Paladin? Because Paladin's 20 level feature is a subclass feature. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. So yeah, feat again, April per usual. Then at we have area form. You learn a new form. You get a sky form from wild shape. Yeah, it is one level later, I think. Because I think no, it's only 8th you get it. Yeah, you get 8th. So yeah, it is. Yeah, so water's 2 levels later, and then air's 1 level later. Yes. No. Water's 3 levels later. Air is 2 levels later. That's kind of interesting that water's that far much later, because like being able to swim is not that big of a deal. And also, if you have a druid that is like a sea elf or something, like not being able to turn into water, which is kind of odd. I think if I'm a DM, I think if I do have like a sea elf or a some other character who has a swimming speed who has an innate swimming speed or just a swimming speed in general, I would probably allow them to become a this may not become the water form, but like have a swimming speed at least, and probably amphibious as well, assuming they can also breathe air and water. So like, yeah, um, L of the Sea, which is described as yeah, and for the 10th level subclass as expected. Um, right, that's something the last which is 6th level which we did addressed. So, tiny critter. You gain the ability to become a tiny creature. When you transform into a wild shape form, you can make it tiny. If you do so, you can stay in the form no longer than 10 minutes, and the damage you deal is halved. Interesting. Also, the cat one's out. The cat's been in the room for like ages. I was talking about earlier. Interesting. Very interesting. I can see why though they would do that. Also, it makes I'm glad they did the whole like damage half thing. That's smart. It is interesting. That is I do find it kind of odd that you have to wait till 11th to get it though. It does seem a little bit excessive. Cause like a cat is a tiny creature. Like for a fly or something like that, I understand it, but like it is kind of interesting. But there's a killer one that I'm pretty sure. I'm gonna go quickly deal with him. Big cat. He's been behind me the whole entire stream. Yeah, you. Yes. This is Murray. He's dum dum. He's a dum dum. Also a shitting dum dum. Which means I need to be careful because I'm allergic to cat fur, particularly him. But he's he's like a 19-pound cat. He's hefty. He's also a love. Yes. And I love that wants out, so I'm gonna let him out. Cat fur for now. Yay. Hope we won't do too much allergy stuff. Yeah. Alternating forms. You can now rapidly shift between spicy. If this is going where I think it's going. You can now rapidly shift between a wild shape form and your normal form. If you're in a wild shape form, if you're in a wild shape form, you can switch to your normal form as a bonus action, and you can then switch back into your wild shape form within the next minute as a bonus action. Neither switch to expense to use a wild shape. Okay. Minute. But I was expecting you to be able to switch between the different forms, but you can't. But I do like that. Well, but you can enter a new form. We revert out, and then you can go back into a new one. You have to transition between your between form, which I mean that makes sense. That makes sense. I just what that's talking about. I expected you to go transition between the different forms. But yeah, it makes sense to you that I have to transition between ones. You have to go back to your normal form and then like go from a wolf to your normal form to a bird or whatever. It makes sense to me. Okay. Do social 14th, 15th. Wild Resurgence. When you use your wild shape, primal magic radiates from you, allowing you to use healing blossoms as part of the same use of channel nature. Okay. So that actually makes Healing Blossom something you'd actually use. Still not good. Like, it's like, okay, it makes it, like... Because it's not making it more useful. It's not making it better. It is just making that you're actually using it. That's the only thing it's doing. Like, it makes it like, okay, now I'm actually gonna use this, but like I'm still not using it from like 10th to 15th level. It's still not being activated ever. So like I think and also buffing to a D6 isn't a big deal. I mean like so like I mean D6 is 5d6. That's gonna be an average of 17 HP. Maximum of 30. But it's remember 3 creatures, 30 HP is 10 each, and that's extremely unlikely. I mean, that is a 1 in 6 to the power of 5. So you have fuck off. E minus 4 would mean this. Yeah, it's less. It is so unlikely. It is extremely unlikely that will occur. So, um, power 1 divided by 6 power of the power of 5. That is a 1%. Okay, so it's a 1% chance of it happening. 100, basically. So yeah, that's not gonna occur. You're not gonna. That's not gonna happen. Like so, like a 17. It was what you typically build is a 17 HP. Divide that among 2 creatures. That's 8. Yeah, 8 or 9. Not a lot. You divide it among like that is it just isn't a lot. It just isn't. I think you have if you roll the dice a number of times equal to your number of channel nature usages. And you use the same number, same way you use the same number of spells. The spells are also the same as the number of spells known, just like that. That's what determines it, and then it's all the dice. It goes to every creature. I think that could work. I think that would be probably a better way to do it. Well, every creature of your choice, not every creature, but though I do also say that it could be a little bit too powerful because it's a 10-foot sphere. I mean, if you make it a 10-foot cube, but excuse me. Beast spells at 17th. You can cast spells in wild shape form. While in such form, you can perform somatic and verbal components, and you don't need to provide free. What's the GP cost? If a spell consumes its material components, you can't cast that spell while in wild shape form. Okay. Alright, whenever you roll initiative, you regain 1 use of channel nature. In addition, the problematic that you wield causes you to age more slowly. This is Town's body for every 10 years to pass. Oh, a baboon change. As you pass your. I like the bit of basically psionic spells, not having to cast focus magic plus to your archers. Like it's only a thematical thing, but that's so cool. Also, 1 use of initiative. I understand, like, okay, for a conference, but like the reason why, because like it's the outside of combat that people I care about more. Is the outside combat usages of it. Like, okay, once during combat, okay, yeah, I can use it whenever I want during combat, basically. Like if I enter combat, okay, yep, I can use it. Good. But like I can't just use it whenever. It's like, yeah, what the fucking baby. But like outside of combat, I mean, it's kind of like you just like it might be fine, but I think you throw it regains all use when you finish a short rest. Well, I mean, okay, you gain one at short rest, you gain one at initiative. I guess it's fine. I guess it works, but I don't like it, but I understand it. So, Epic Boon. Choose one of your abilities that score increases by 2, and this increase can raise the score above 20 but not 30. Okay, I was saying they should probably do this, please. You can get Epic Boons can get your basically higher than normal, but it's still only by 2. Like, okay, this probably means the Barbarian Primal Champion thing might be gone. Um, unless you get, well, probably than 2 features since it was by 4. But 2 is like, okay, yay, I go to +6. Which gives me that just means you get 64 for the nature blossom thing. So like, okay, if you choose that is, it's assuming you don't go Epic Boon, you then are gonna be, you can, and I assume you choose Wisdom as well, which I assume you would. There's no reason not to. But that would be smart choice would be to choose Wisdom because how much stuff it affects. Um, yeah, but I mean, okay, 64 is an average of 3 times 5. It's 15. Yay! Wait, 3 times. Yeah, 3 times. Yeah. I already Wisdom modified it. That could make it better. The Healing Blossom thing, but I don't know. I think that should probably not just be 2. I think it should be more because like 2 we get normally. Like, yippee. But you can go above 30, but you get it once. So in response to playtest feedback, we've made the Epic Boon feature in the Druid and Paladin more powerful than the version previously offered in the Cleric and 3 Experts. The Experts, when we revisit those classes, will add ability score increased benefit to their versions of the feature. Oh, you gain the Epic Boon feat of Spell Recall or Epic Boon feat of your choice. So, hmm. 2 doesn't seem like enough. Like, because assuming you do it once, because you get at 20th. Okay, I get that at 20th level. But like, I think it should probably be +2 in one and +1 in another one. Because I was thinking like +4 is probably too much. I think possibly +3. Well, the plus doesn't matter because like the extra one is like, I was about 19. I don't give a fuck. And at 12, I probably got rid of that 19 at that point through feet and stuff. So, um, I think +2 in one stat and +1 in another one. I think that would do the. I think that would be good. The getting +1s, but +2 isn't really enough. And +4 is probably too much. I don't know. That's just my reaction. Wild shapes. When you use your wild shape, you transform into a form that you've learned from this feature. This section includes 3 forms, such as animal of the land, animal of the sea, and animal of the sky. As you assume a form, you determine its appearance, selecting an example animal form from animal from the form's description. Interesting. Or choosing a hybrid form that incorporates visual characteristics from 2 or more animals. The appearance you choose has no effect on the form's capabilities unless like, you have hands. But when choosing an animal's appearance for a form, the animal doesn't need to be the same size as the form. For example, you could choose an elephant for the appearance and small for the size. Oh, so you can choose different sizes. Okay. Creating the form that resembles a little elephant. Okay. Like an oliphant. Animal of the land. Oliphant is a actually it does exist in D&D 5e. I just think it's only independent and Avernus, but it's a small elephant celestial thing. Is it small? It might not be. I'm not familiar with it enough. It feels like it would be, but it might not be. Small, medium, or large, terrestrial animal. Your creature type doesn't change. Oh, wait. An animal of the land is a flightless terrestrial animal such as a bear, deer, horse, cat, dog, velociraptor, or big rodent. So, okay. So, climbing speed for football or higher. Climb speed of 40 feet. Okay, bear. Okay, climb speed, sure. Deer, definitely not. Horse, no. Cat, sure. Yeah, dog, no. Velociraptor, I guess you could be a velociraptor that can climb. Maybe. I don't know. Big rodent, sure. Depend. Kind of. Like a capybara, no. Like big rodent, big capybara, no. Squirrel, sure. Rat, sure. But like, what about ape? Like climbing and walking, like at in an equilibrium. The perfect example would be an ape, or like, but how? I mean, you could say ape at 5th level, but dumb. Whatever. But it is such as so like, okay, sure. It just mean different, but like it's disrespectful. Interesting. I noted earlier that I'll get to this side. But okay, yeah, I'll get to it in a second. Armor class, how much was a modifier? So knock off unarmed movement. Okay, yeah, makes sense to me. Hit points, you continue to use your hit points and hit dies. Okay, that has definitely heavily nerfed wild shape. It's no longer no longer makes your druid basically invincible. Speed 40 feet, climb 40 feet for the higher level. Big scores. So I noted earlier. What was I trying to say is I noted earlier that it did not keep your intelligence, wisdom, or charisma scores. We didn't say it. There it says it. So now, your strength, dexterity. What the frick is going on there? It's my mouse. I'm like, what's wrong with this screen? So, cons also using your own score. Makes sense. Then strength, dexterity, you equal your wisdom score. I understand why it's that way, because like generally Druids don't really have a high dexterity or strength score, and I was like kind of associated with the beast, but like there's a strong argument to Constitution being that way. Because also kind of Constitution determines your HP and stuff, and so your HP is the way it normally is, or your Constitution be the way it normally is. So, but like, I feel like Druids that naturally, like an elf Druid that has a naturally high dexterity, should be rewarded to some extent for having that high dexterity. So like half your wisdom score? Well, no, because that's 10 at 20th. So like 10 plus your wisdom modifier or your dexterity score. I think that could work. I think it is complicated. That's worth noting. It is complicated, but like rewarding you for having a high dexterity score naturally, and like because it makes sense. Like if you're naturally dexterous, your wild shape forms to be more dexterous. If you're strong normally, your wild shape form probably stronger. But that doesn't carry over here at all. At least with dexterity, it'd be cool to see some sort of influence on your normal dexterity score. But I also know if it's not that way, so I'm fine with it if it stays this way. But I'm not gonna have a whole big problem with it. But like, it would be cool if it was like 10 plus your wisdom score or your dexterity score, 10 plus your wisdom score or your strength score. That would think that'd be a cool way to do it. But like keeps your scores still applicable, um, or like 10 plus your wisdom modifier plus your strength modifier, but no higher than your wisdom score. Way more complicated, but another way to do it. Also strength for dexterity, same way. But actually, that should be like under defense for monk, the dexterity one, or your wisdom modifier, but wisdom score. Sorry, but no. I'm just driving 10 60 feet. Yeah, okay. As long as you know. Because your most keen senses, found on wisdom perception checks. Interesting. Beast Strike. Attacks, spell attack modifier to hit, reach 5 feet. On one target, hit 1d8 plus yeah 1d8 plus your strength modifier blood pierce half damage. The multi attack with a fifth or higher, you make 2 pieces of attack. Interesting that multi attack is the second piece there, not the first. The piece of multi attack is the earlier thing. Though it's probably just due to the fact that you get at a higher level. So, yeah. But 2 pieces of attacks. Yeah, sure. 1d8, yeah. Animal of the sea. Small, medium, or large, aquatic, or semi-aquatic animal. Also, where's talk about it? Oh, here it is. Okay. Animal of the sea is an aquatic or semi-aquatic animal such as a crocodile, dolphin, sea turtle, octopus, or shark. While in this form, you use the animal of the sea stat block. Okay. Small or medium or large, aquatic, semi-aquatic creature doesn't change. Oh, yeah, your creature doesn't change. I just noticed that. I understand why, because like, the parts that the things where it comes to play doesn't make it would be something where you shouldn't be affected by it, like Charm Beast. Like you shouldn't be affected by that. I don't think I'm being dumb. Charm Beast is a thing. Whatever the fuck, I don't care. It doesn't matter. But the point is being that like the things that affect different creatures are things that were like you should be counted as human for them. So it makes sense. Your type doesn't change. Your type doesn't change at all. Same AC, same hit points. So it's space 20 feet, space 4 feet. So space 40 feet over here. So okay. Defeat equals your wisdom score. But then strength, constitution, intelligence, wisdom, and charisma, you use your scores. Interesting. So strength is added. Strength over here. Strength. These. I guess his strength is meant to be kind of potentially lower. So strength is over there, I guess. So, over to 90 feet. That's odd. If anything, I do dark vision 60 feet or no dark vision, then blind sight 30 feet because like echolocation, and like or like because like sharks also have a similar thing as well with electric reception. But dark vision 90 feet seems kind of odd. But I guess the deep ocean. So I guess I understand it, but kind of odd. Be there in water, and then 1d6 damage instead of 1d8. And you already notice you have multi attack, so multi two beastful strikes. So okay, an animal of the sky is a winged animal such as a bat, eagle, falcon, pteranodon, or owl. While in this form, you use the animal of the sky stat block. On the sky, small, medium, or large winged animal, your creature type doesn't change. So yeah, you can still become like a large animal and fly somebody else potentially. So, DC 8 plus your Wisdom modifier. Interesting. You continue to use your hip. Yeah, that's different. So you lower AC, which I see why. I can understand why. Which means 13 plus 5. So, versus 15. Hit points. You also most the AC of most flying creatures tend to be lower. Well, the winged animals. So I think is that true? That might not be true. I don't know. Also, your wisdom modifier. I just realized this Donnie that wisdom modifier. Your dexterity is your wisdom. So this is technically your wisdom, your dexterity actually, but this is wisdom because it's similar to say it that way. Yeah. Yeah. So speed 20 feet, fly 40 feet. Yeah. So both of them have low walking speed, which is makes sense. Both flying and swimming has low walking speed and then high flying speed. And the high their specific their type specific speed. Then on the land is 40 in both. So both will both climbing and swimming and walking. So there was no burrowing because nothing gives you burrowing. But burrowing doesn't go very powerful for defensive purposes because it's very hard to hit creatures that's under the ground, especially if they're well, if they're earthquake you just can't hit them unless you have a burrowing speed yourself. But or a spell that doesn't require you to see a target or something, or just goes through total cover. Well, you need both those things. Which way would be you have both of them if you don't need to see them? But well, I guess you're not treating a target, but like a fireball doesn't go through total cover. But bring Constitution, Intelligence, Wisdom, Christmas. Yeah, so use your scores. So it's more like dexterity uses your wisdom score for everything except for here. Yeah, I think it's a dexterity score. And here you obviously just use your strength because like beast of the land is gonna be stronger, and they're assuming that your wisdom score is higher than your strength score because it's gonna basically be the case almost all the time. So unless you build your character weirdly. Even if this is a dart for 120 feet, I would almost feel our darbage is just scale throughout the whole entire time, but whatever. Languages, the languages you know, like I feel like owls have dark vision, good sight. Eagles have good sight. I guess in white that's that way, but kind of peculiar. Languages, the languages you know. Proficiency flyby. You don't have opportunities when you fly out of an enemy's reach. Interesting, cool. Sometimes you have advantage on wisdom perception checks. Yeah, okay. It was not present here, but it's over there, and it makes sense because like owls have keen sight, eagles have keen sight, so keen hearing. No, hey, owls would wait. Do owls have keen? Owls should have keen hearing and sight, and hearing, but I'm not sure they do. I think they do because I'm pretty sure owl bears have keen hearing. So, but not keen sight. Can't remember what it is. How it is. Maybe it's keen sight, not keen hearing. Whatever, doesn't matter. And then 1d4 plus your wisdom off, so it reduces your damage. So your original form is the most amount of damage. It's the best for combat, honestly, really. Unless you're very well, okay. I mean, flying is good for defender from somewhat good to a defensive standpoint, but so the moon. We know this. This is probably the same thing as what it is in PvP. Combat wild shape. You have learned magical techniques that allow you to transform quickly into channel magical protection while transformed, getting these benefits. Abjuration spells. While you're in wild shape form, you can cast any spell you currently have prepared from the Abjuration school, provided the spell doesn't require a material component. Interesting. Oh. because all of the healing spells are now abjuration spells, and you can you can expend use a bonus actually to expend one spell slot to heal 1d8 hit points per spell level. So it's basically casting Cure Wounds, sort of, kind of. The heal this is allowed to actually cast Cure Wounds. Cool, makes sense. I like that. Then quick attack. You can use an Unarmed Strike as a bonus form. Yeah, you can use the Unarmed Strike as a bonus action. This one's Bestial Strike though. I assume that's what I mean, but like, odd though. But yeah, that's cool because it gives you 3 attacks in your form. Well, 3 gives you 2 attacks, and then at 5th level gives you 3 attacks. Cool, I like that. Switch transformation. You can use your wild shape as a bonus action or magic action, but no more than once per turn on your turn. Okay, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Good. Wait, so this is for Elmo the Wild Shape 6th, which is what is 6th really? Circle form. Oh, what Primal Strike? Yeah. Man. Channeling Ancient Lunar Magic, you imbue. You imbue a wild shape form with the power of the elemental planes. Whenever you assume the wild shape form, choose one of the following damage types: Acid, Cold, Fire, Lightning, Thunder. Based on the damage type. While in that form, you have the damage type chosen, and the form's Bestial Strike can deal damage of that type rather than its normal type, with you choosing between the types when you hit. Your form also displays signs of the chosen damage type. For example, if you choose fire, your fur and wild shape might flicker with harmless flames. You choose the details. I understand the change. I understand why it's earlier. But, like, I like transforming into an air elemental and yeeting creatures across all of the place with whirlwind. That's fun. Why are you depriving me of that fun? Like, really? Well, it is what it is. Elemental Strike. Elemental forces imbue your attacks. When you deal damage with your Elemental Strike, the target takes an extra 1d6 damage of the type you choose from Elemental Wild Shape. This extra damage increases to 2d6 when you're 17th level in this class. Okay, yeah. I was kind of expecting this coming in the other one. But it's good to see that added. Also, the damage also would bypass the immunities and stuff, so that's why it's not there anymore. Partially, that and it's just better. The watch is better. Yeah, almost right. So you're dealing at. It is not just once per turn. Hold on. You can make your Unarmed Strike as a bonus action, which means you can make the Beetle Strikes as a bonus action, which means that for you get 3 attacks. You have to adjust 3d8. With that, it's 3d8 plus 1d6. So it's kind of punch mark. So not so powerful. But you get 2d6. So I don't disagree with it. I don't think it's too broken, but that is a lot of that is 66 plus 3d8. So you're averaging 3d8 is going to be 9 plus 4, so 13. Out of 3 damage plus the 66 there, it's gonna be 20. No, brain dumb. 14. No, brain, you're being dumb now. 21. Yeah, so 21 versus 21 plus 17. Brain, hello, 13. That's 34 damage on average. Plus your wisdom modifier. Yes. Plus your wisdom modifier. So I'll assume 5 because I would run the assumption as. That's the time I've been running. You have an AS at this point, so you can guarantee you're at 20. If you got like 16 somewhere, you will at least 16. You can roll 16. That's just, well, all at 10th you've had 2, so even if you're at even if you're at 14, you still enough to get to be 20. So I'm between 20th here, so that's 5 to 15 damage. That's 34, 40 brain, 34, 49 damage on average. It's a lot. Not more than a fireball, but so I think it's fair. I don't think it's broken. It's just notable. It's like, hey, we're good now. Granted, are you any better than we were before? I don't know. So it's not a thing. Stab. My monster stab. The max you can do is 8. What's it? It's brain. Before it was 20 divided by 6. No, brain, you're dumb. Divided by 3, so it's 6. My brain already knew the math. I already knew what it was. It was 6. Beast. Also, let's by CR. We use the URL thing, but I'm not super familiar with it, and with all the filters and stuff. I treat the same. I could have done it. It's like ampersand question mark equals negative CR challenge rating or something. Is that true? Yeah, and did not say sort. Oh, that's a question mark. I didn't say sort. So question mark is present in a question mark over. The question mark is actually over, probably over here. Yeah, the question mark's over here. I mean, question mark has to do with the ones where you don't have any filters. So it's ampersand sort equals negative CR. Okay, but so mammoth, which is the highest form we've been doing, is 29 damage on average plus the traveling charge, so it's 25 plus a potential 29. So you're not getting more damage. This is an average of 50. Well, this is 54 traveling charge, but no, you can be doing more damage. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Not bad. Not bad. Less HP. You're way less durable. Way less HP. But I assumed what Druid was D8s, but not check. Yes, a D8. So make sure. And intelligence wisdom, which was before. Yeah. Was that check this earlier? 1,000 forms. You've learned to use lunar magic to alter your physical form in innumerable ways. You always have the alter spell itself prepared, and you can cast with that spell. It also doesn't. Yeah. So this is what it had before. It was 14 level before. No change. So solid. That's in the Druid. Move on to down the timestamp for where we're currently in the video. That's 108. 108. An hour and 8 minutes into the video is Druid and Paladin. Okay, Paladins. We can do this strengthening. Okay, strengthening charisma. Okay, yeah. Right, yeah, because we're rounding off the priests, so it's dawned to me like I was trying to think like, why is Druid and Paladin like, whatever, it's fine, I don't care, because we're rounding off the priest right now, so that's why they're together. Okay, ignore that. Well, this is the same as it was before, so at third, interesting. Well, it's the same as the Druid one, right? 9 and 5th, yeah, so the Druid one. Yeah. D10s, wisdom and charisma. Yeah, that's what I didn't like, because it's charisma and something else. And it's a wisdom and it's charisma, and then one of the primary ones, And I've always found it kind of weird on Amelia's thing about. Well, yeah, so charisma and then one of the primary ones. So either dexterity, not primary, major. That's the term I use, so it doesn't matter. But dexterity, constitution, wisdom, and so the charisma already there for the minor one. So and constitution argument for it, it's definitely not dexterity. So definitely not dexterity. So it's wisdom or strength, and I think wisdom. And when I think more about it, like wisdom does make a little more sense than strength. So, no, not strength. What am I saying? Makes a little more sense than con. Strength makes more sense than wisdom, but it's not major. So, um, yeah. But because wisdom's like suggestion, like mind control stuff, so it makes sense of how it be wisdom and charisma. So like, I need like a mind control stuff. It's gonna have advantage. It's proficient that through. Skills: choose athletics, insight, intimidation, medicine, persuasion, and religion. Also, choose two, right? Yes. So athletics, insight, intimidation, in something. I'll open the paladin here. Athletics, insight, intimidation, medicine, persuasion, religion. Yeah, it's the same. Yep. Okay. Armor training. Some martial weapons, no tools. All armor, all weapons. Yeah. Okay. Chainmail, holy symbol, 6 javelins, longsword, priest pack, shield. I think the barbarian hasn't. That's the same as here. So martial weapon and a shield, or 2 martial weapons. So it gets a longsword and a shield rather than so it gets this option right there. 5 down, so it's 6 javelins instead. Then it gives a priest's pack. And then the chainmail and the holy symbol. So it gets 1 additional javelin, and it gets 9 GP. Okay. I'll finish at this. You can martial weapons. We teach Druid and Paladin. Armor training, you gain proficiency, blah blah blah, and beat armor and shields. At higher paladin level. Druid. You need 13, wizard 13 or higher, and you get light armor shields. Okay, I believe what it was before. And paladin needs 13 in strength. Yeah, so it's 13 in your primary abilities. That's what it always is, probably. Lay on hands. Your bonus touch can heal wounds. You have a pool of healing power that replenishes when you take a long rest. With that pool, you can restore a total hit point number of hit points of equal to 5 inch paladin level. That's what it is normally, right? I'm not super familiar with paladin, so just I'm not super familiar with paladin. Yeah, so that's what it's normally. As a magic action, you can touch a creature, which could be yourself, and draw power from the pool of healing to restore a number of hit points to that creature up to the maximum amount remaining in the pool. In addition, you can expend 5 hit points from the healing pool to remove the poison condition from creature rather than yeah, so it removes the disease piece, and it doesn't mention anything about undead or constructs. So, you'll go into cast spells through the rest of the place habit spell casting. So, heroism, resistance by the dying, and thunder smite. Okay. Hopefully, you can prepare 2 cantrips and 2 first level spells of your choice. Yeah, the 0 spells not cantrips, but you know. When you finish with long rest, oops, I just kicked my shelf, something that I had behind my thing, and moved it. Yeah. You saw me a little bit, if there was one. And 2 first level spells. Whenever you finish a long rest, you can meditate because any spell you prepare for this class with another divine spell of the same level. Whoa. It's any divine spell. Not restricted. Interesting. Okay then. I mean, yeah, because not like paladins have no illusion spell, but neither do clerics. So, well, they have silence, which is actually the one the illusion spell wizards don't have. But fun fact. Um, yeah, I'm not sure clerics still have illusion. Still have silence. So yeah, like okay. It's just my gut reaction was the fact that like rangers can't do have primal but can't use evocation. Paladins be the kind of the equivalent, like paladins are to clerics as rangers are to druids, but paladins don't have a limited spells that they can't choose from, and also the evocation base is kind of annoying because like it loses like gust of wind and some other stuff that would have normally would normally have, and it annoys me. Um, so yeah, but because like gust of wind and beast spells is one of my like use it as honkies to play it as I've like always been appealing to me. It's kind of fun, but you can't do that anymore. So I don't know why that because of flaming spear and moonbeam, but like I want my gust of wind. But yeah, there are other spells as well that are missing that matter. The one thing with the Druid spells I came up with like they got blight, but yeah, because that was my go-to Druid spell when I played a Druid. Um, which was my first good bit of play with a Druid. Well, first I play with a Druid, and my blight was the go-to spell. For dealing damage. Spell slots. Yeah, as soon as it's Ranger, Christmas spell, yeah, it's everything we know to be the case. Divine Smite. Low check. So you don't have Divine Sense. Doesn't surprise me at all. Um, okay. This is little. When you hit a creature with a target, you can channel Divine Energy to smite it. Immediately after you hit a target with an attack roll using a weapon or an unarmed strike, you can expend one spell slot to deal radiant damage to the target. Damage is equal to is 2d8 for first spell slot plus 1d8 for each slot level higher than first. You can use divine type more no more than once during a turn, and you can't use it on the same turn that you cast a spell. Okay, interesting. Yeah, okay, that makes. I'm glad they did that because you can't stack with a smite. But is this wait, is it with it normal? Again, I don't know Paladin very well. You can stack normally, so yeah, I'm glad it's that way. Finds out, you hone your martial prowess and you gain the flying style, Def, you gain the flying style, defense feat, or you gain another flying style feat of your choice. Is it always any fighting style? So that was that with Ranger? Can't remember. Oh fuck! Right off, mate. Um. Um. Frick you. Um. So yeah, now that stupid crash. Um, what unlocked? So Ranger does not have everything at once. So Ranger is limited to defense, two in fighting, archery, and maybe one other. It's not. And I know it's not dueling. So they now get a paladin all of them, and that's dumb. I thought it's just there's no reason. Well, yeah. Um, there's no reason that paladin should have all of them, but ranger shouldn't. Like, why should like two and I mean, like, why should ranger not have dueling, but paladin should? Like, there's no reason for ranger not have dueling. Like, there's literally no reason for it. Like, it's like we're going to find it. Okay, I maybe, but like archery on but like you can make the same argument for like two and fighting a paladin or archery and paladin. Like it's dumb. Whatever. I'm taking more offense at the fact that somebody plays rangers a lot, and like it just annoys me because like it does. Cause like I would take dueling now and then. I might take dueling potentially. I don't love dueling, but like I might take it. Um, but like also something like interception protection kind of stuff. But like all the interception is not in one D&D, but like it's on one like one of the earlier ranger is to druid as cleric is to as paladin is to cleric. Same thing like paladin is to fighter as ranger is to fighter. And it seems like it's like it almost feels like rangers like I mean yeah ranger's an expert class, but like it, I don't I don't like it. I think that's dumb. I just Town Divinity. So Divine Sense is Town Divinity. What did they miss at their little? No. What's not there? Okay. Well, I guess. Yeah, Divine Health is not there, but you can use Divine Power from the outer planes, using the energy to fuel magical effects. You start with one such effect, Divine Sense, which is described below. Other Paladin features give additional Channel Divinity effect options. Each time you use this Channel Divinity, you choose which effect to create from among those you have from this class. Yeah, because Paladin normally doesn't have one in 1D in 5e. They're all subclass, a subclass thing. Those don't have anything. So here it's giving you a base one to start out with. You can use Challenge Divinity twice. One use when you finish a short rest. And two to finish a long rest. You can additional uses when you reach certain paladin levels and so on. Yeah. Divine Sense. As a bonus action, you can open your awareness to celestials, fiends, and undead for the next 10 minutes, or until you have the incapacitated condition. You know the location of any creature of those types within 60 feet of you, and you know its creature type. Within the same range, you can also detect the presence of any place or object that has been affected, concentrated, or desecrated, as with the Hallow spell. Yeah, I mean, like, it's not a feature I would use, but like, the primary usage of Challenge Divinity for Paladins is your subclass once. It's just the way it's going to be. So, it's a later level than was before. Yeah, here there was really a not still color thing, so like it does get rid of that, which it should never have had, but that is gone now, so it's good. But yeah. Yeah, we know what this is all about. Feet, that's about that's just that same as Faithful Steed. Interesting. Faithful Steed, you can easily call on the aid of an otherworldly steed. You always have this Find Steed spell prepared, and it doesn't count against the number of spells you can repair. Also, this is Dark Souls or something. When you cast this, well, Elden Ring. I'm not super familiar with the Dark Souls games, but it's like Elden Ring, Conjuring sources. But yeah, when you cast a spell, its casting time is an action. You can also cast a spell once without expending a spell slot. You get the ability to do so when you finish a long rest. Okay, and find steed. Find steed. So 4 times. Oh, because divine spell has been changed. Interesting. Or they've both been changed. I should look into that. So 10 minutes, but here's an action. You get the service of an otherworldly being, which manifests as a loyal steed and occupies space in range. The view. This creature has an always steed stat block. If you already have a steed from the spell, the steed is replaced by a new one. The steed resembles a large, rideable animal of your choice, such as a horse, camel, direwolf, or an elk. You get to find steed for finding your steed. Whenever you cast a spell, choose a steed's creature type, such as Fey or Fiend, which determines this certain stats in its stat block. Combat. The steed is an ally of you and your companions. In combat, it shares your initiative count, and it functions as a controlled mount, as defined in the rules on mounted combat. If you are incapacitated, it takes its if you're incapacitated, it takes its turn immediately after yours and acts independently, focusing on protecting you. Okay. Disappears of the steed. The steed disappears if it drops to 0 hit points, if you dismiss it as a bonus or if you die. When it disappears, it leaves behind anything it was wearing or carrying. If you cast the spell again, you decide whether to use some of the steed that disappeared or a different one. Okay. So when you cast a spell, whether you spell a third level higher, use some sass. Yeah. Okay. Okay, they're both neutral. I paid it earlier. Not just Selfless Faith or Fiend. Although I did not check with a Paladin, I would assume it uses whatever type you choose. Because, like, Oathbreaker would be Fiend. Maybe also with Conquest would be Fiend. Devotion would be Celestial. And then with Vengeance could be just Fiend, possibly. I don't know. And Fae would be like, any for Oath of Angel would be Fae. So, yeah. Tempest 1 for the spell level, so it's a second level spell? Yeah, so you're looking at AC 12. 5 plus 10 per spell level, so 25. Speed 2 feet, fly 60 feet. Requires 4th level spell or higher. Interesting. Oh. So it's basically Flying Greater Seed was been brought into it. So a Pegasus, Griffin, Periton. Oh, a Direwolf is normally a Flying Greater Seed option, I'm pretty sure. Rhinoceros also isn't going to be here. Yeah, it's like we're not. They've had Camel, but like you don't have Rhinoceros, you don't have Saber-Tooth Tiger, you don't. Direwolf was there, but like again, it's such as, so like you could do it as something else. So, it doesn't matter if not the stat block at all. Well, a rhino would be different than a horse, but like it doesn't matter. But yeah, so negative flying speed. So you could have a Pegasus or flying rhinoceros or yes, my flying rhinoceros friend, smash you to pieces. Or mini elephants. It's Dumbo. It's flying by the wings. Strength 14, Dex whatever. That's yeah. Dex 12, Con 14, Intelligence 6. Wisdom, yeah. That's about you, basically. Pass Perception 11. Telepathy of 1 mile, only between units. Seed, yeah. Is it? What's the range of it over here? 120. Okay. Yeah, I can see why. Life Bond. When you regain hit points from a spell of 1st level or higher, the steed regains the same number of hit points if you're within 5 feet of it. Oh, that makes sense. Cool. Otherworldly Maul. Most attack, your spell attack modifier to hit, reach 5 feet, one target, 1d hit 1d8 plus the spell's level rating damage. Psychic for faith, 5 damage for fiend. Okay, yeah. Yeah. Bonus actions, Faith Step. Fate only recharges after, so you have one for each. Cool. This seat teleports along with its rider to an unoccupied space of your choice within 60 feet away. Fell Glare, Fiend only. They also turn for a long rest. The seat's eyes gleam with fiendish light as it targets one creature it can perceive with up to 6 feet away. The target must succeed on a wisdom saving throw against special DC or have the fighting condition until the end of your next turn. Only end of your next turn. I mean, like, Jeer. One for a long rest is the only until the enemy next turn. That's pretty nah. But Healing Touch. The city touches another creature and restores their hit points equal to 2 plus spell level. Yeah, so that's kind of that's what the unit has pretty much. So, yeah, makes sense. That's different, Glimmering Smite, but we're not looking at it now. That's for later. Okay. You cast spell without once without. It doesn't say what the cast spell. So you cast with this like a fine gator state thing? Obviously, you have to have a cast a spell, but I mean, wait, what's up here? Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to like, oh yeah, you can cast it as the 4th level spell. I wouldn't say like, no, you can't. But so let's feature at 6th, 3rd, 6th, which is doing 7. So 7th, Aura Protection. Radiate Protective Invisible Aura. That's a range of 10 feet, but not. It doesn't extend through total cover. Okay, it no longer extends through total cover. Okay. Though now the Divine Sense does. Interesting. That flip flopped kind of sort of. You and your allies in the aura gain a bonus to saving throws equal to your charisma modifier, and then a bonus of +1. If another paladin is present, a creature can benefit from only one aura protection at a time. The creature chooses which one when entering the auras. Yeah. Add your foes. Interesting. As a matter, you can spend one use of your challenge divinity to overwhelm foes with divine awe. After you prevent your holy symbol or weapon, you can target a number of creatures equal to your charisma modifier. So it's not just like the passive like subclass would give you certain creatures, like devotion did, ancients I believe did, and watchers did. Now it just is just general, just other creatures. Each creature must make a wisdom saving throw, or on a fail that the target has the dazed and frightened conditions for 1 minute, or until it takes any damage. On a 6th level save, the target has the dazed conditions for 1 minute, or until it takes any damage. I would open up the cleric one, but that's what caused it to crash the last time, so insert that. But I believe that this stands as the challenge event, as the turn, as what they turn, as what is now turned. If we just find dazed, just check up on it. So then the orange on the right strip is, I find amusing. This way. Okay. While dazed, you experience the following effect: limited activity. You can move or take one action on your turn, not both, and you can't take a bonus action or reaction. So yeah, it's like a minor form of incapacitated, kind of. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It was. I think the Cleric one's a little more complicated, but like unnecessarily complicated. They talk about like the dash action and stuff. It's only actually gonna take like you can't take like you can't move those. So like I guess if the dash action is just you moving 30 feet, but like what's the point? So okay. Um, well I guess no. Well okay. What it does is it would be blocking you from taking the attack action. So um. But still close at 10th though, as we've seen. So that's the 15th one then. Wouldn't really be at 15th. So interesting because if you have 15 down to 10, that's a difference of 5 levels. So this probably needs some. You might need some sort of change, though. I wouldn't be opposed if it doesn't change, but or way to scale it. It'll be interesting to see what it is. On the Radiant Strikes. You are so suffused with divine might that your weapon strikes carry supernatural power with them. When you hit a target with an attack roll using a simple or martial weapon, the target takes an extra 1d8 radiant damage. That's on all of your attacks. Which is the way it is normally. Well, so normally it's just melee weapon attacks. That's all attacks. Um. You can compare like the way to the Hunter's Mark and stuff. It's like, or like the planar. But obviously a little earlier features like planar warrior is 2d10 elements. So like, Duelist Strikes is the same thing, but only a one target at a d6. Whatever. The Order of Courage. So 3 of those later. You and your ally are immune to the frightened condition while in your aura of protection. So it's just in your aura of protection. Interesting. If a frightened creature, an ally enters the area, or the condition is repressed while the ally is there. Okay. Just. It's not clear what happens if your aura is frightened entering the area, because you cannot be frightened. So like, it just I think it's kind of it's not really changing. It's like more like clarifying it. I say more accurate description of what it's doing. So there's the 20th level feature at what would be 20th level feature at 14, so 6 levels earlier. So restoring touch 15th level. When you, which probably tells you that everything's gonna be as it goes at third, 6th, 6th, 10th, 15th. Because if anyone's gonna be about change, it'll be Paladin. And if Paladin's not changing, they're all gonna be that way. So 15th level restoring touch. When you use lay of hands on a creature, you can also remove one or more of the following conditions from the creature: blind, charmed, dazed, deafened, frightened, paralyzed, or stunned. You must expend 5 hit points from the healing pool of lay of hands for each of these. If conditions you remove, those points don't also restore hit points to the creature. So Great Restoration, no, Less Restoration, Greater Restoration, not present previously. Less Restoration, Greater Restoration, Less Restoration, Less Restoration. Yeah, sure. I'm getting the feeling that range doesn't seem just kind of doesn't feel like it's powerful enough. I don't know. It feels like it's kind of being overshadowed, but I mean, maybe it's always that way. Honestly, I just haven't paid enough attention to Paladin. Um, but I don't know. Mm. Though. Hmm. 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 Um. Business group feet. Yeah. Okay. Whatever. 30 feet out of 10 feet. Yep. It's one level earlier. In the divine condiment. Whenever you roll initiative, you gain one usage of this class challenge divinity. Okay. What do you even normally at 20th? No. Oh right. Yeah. Subclass feature. Duh. Um. So yeah, it's kind of what Druid had 8 got. Yep. Yeah. A bit of a true set interesting. Which is okay. I've been reading into that stuff. It's probably stuff we know and stuff. Prepared spells. You have certain spells prepared and yeah, okay. Free casting. You can cast one of your prepared spells from this feature without expending a spell slot, and you must finish. You always have certain spells ready when you reach a paladin level, specified in the Oath's devotion spells table. You thereafter always have the list of spells prepared. These spells don't count against the number of spells you can prepare, and they follow the rule of spell casting feature. Spells. You can cast one of your prepared spells with this feature without a spell slot, and you must finish it freezing spell. So it's one of them. So once you can cast Flame and Strike. Okay. Huh. I don't think they had with Cleric. I feel like if you're gonna have it in just one of the subclass casting stuff, it should have in all of them. But maybe that's an update kind of thing. Feeling good. Shield of Faith. Aids of Truth or Vitality. Blinding Smite. Guardian of Faith. Tyrant Smite. Coon. Flame Strike. Okay, Shield of Faith and Strength Spray. Makes sense. Aid into Lust Restoration, which makes sense due to the change. The touch thing that change. Um, or Vitality and Blinding Smite instead of being a hope and Dispel Magic. Yeah, makes sense. I guess. Yeah. Guardian of Faith, Tyrant Smite versus Free Movement, Guardian of Faith. Yeah, again, makes sense. I guess. Commune, Flame Strike, Commune, Flame Strike, okay. Secret Weapon. As a bonus action, you can expend one use your challenge vein to imbue one simple or martial weapon that you are holding with positive energy. For 1 minute, you add your charisma modifier to attacking rolls you make with that weapon. Minimum bonus +1, and each time you hit with it, you cause it to deal its normal damage type or radiant damage. Hmm. The weapon also emits bright light in a 20-foot radius and an additional 20 feet. You can end the bonus action. This effect also ends if you aren't holding the weapon or if you have the incapacitated condition. Smite of Protection. This is very different. Your Divine Smite now radiates protective energy that allows you and your allies to stay in the fight. Whenever you use your Divine Smite, choose yourself or an ally within 30 feet of yourself. The chosen creature gains temporary hit points equal to 1d8 plus the level of the spell slot used for Divine Smite. So this is like, um, oh, what is it? It's Battlesmith. That's like this. Yeah, this is restoring 22 hit points. This is hit 1d8 plus your but used for Divine Smite. Okay, sure. Okay, I was warning about that. Aura Devotion. You and your allies are immune to the charm condition while in the aura protection. If a charm ally enters the aura, that condition is suppressed while yeah. So this is pushed 3 levels later. Bed and new place at 6. It's Holy Nimbus. As a bonus, you can imbue your aura protection with holy power. The aura gains the following benefits for 1 minute, or until you end them as a bonus action. Whenever an enemy starts its turn in the aura, the creature takes radiant damage equal to your proficiency bonus plus your charisma modifier. So the aura is filled with bright light that is sunlight. Once you use this feature, you can't use it again until you finish a long rest, unless you expend a first spell for higher when you use it again. From a breath of sensitive radius and do it for just 30 feet beyond that. Whenever an enemy creature starts its turn in the bright light, it's 10 radiant damage. So this scale, with 4 Nevo plus 5, so that's going to be 10. I think it's higher at 17th. So it's 11 at 17th. And at 20, I think it'd be even higher. It could be 12. If you increase your critical score by 2. Granted, you also have to take into your strength score. So, should probably a little lower, but then again, can't wait for that. So, they gave Paladin 2 in fighting. That just clicked. Well, I know like I recognize they gave it 2 in fighting, but just clicked though is with that. If you go 2 in fighting, you then 3d8 damage a turn. Plus there's a 3d8 from your longsword if you go in longsword. We should deal with it, so like it's d6s, but it's a small phase. It gives off d8s. This is an every single attack. that should okay, I don't know. I really think that should probably be once per turn, but that ranger should be buffed, but what's the fee? Repeatable, yada yada. A bit of fate. Increase your intelligence, wisdom, or crystal score by 1 to maximum 30. Cool. When another creature within 60 feet of you fails a D20 test, you can roll a 2d4. 2d4. Oh, okay. You roll 2d4 and apply the total roll as a bonus or penalty to the d20 roll. That's like what? That's a blessed with the gods and the Divine Mind Sorcerer has. I think 2d8. Divine Sorcerer is once per turn long rest. This is once per turn. You have 8 uses of this benefit, and when you finish a long rest, you gain 54 uses. Okay. Well, it's Major Priest. Spell recall, Major Priest. Paladin get, but Ranger can't. And Bard can't. Increase your intelligence, wisdom, or charisma score by 1 to maximum 30. You can Arcane Trickster or Eldritch Knight. Whenever you cast a spell when you cast a spell with a spell slot of first, third, and third, or fourth level, roll d4. If the number you roll equals the slot's level, the slot isn't expended. Okay. That's as good as I expect a 20th level feature to be, but dear lord. Okay, I do not feel. I no longer have. I no longer have a problem with how powerful to make my 20th level feature, my feats being that I was creating the past couple weeks. Okay. There's no gripes with them anymore. I was saying like the 12 weapon bones are pretty weak, man. Compared to these things, they're pretty weak. I know that. Okay, never mind. That changed my mind very quickly. I mean, the ones I make, 19 ones I'm creating might be still a little bit better, but I kind of think it should probably different. Like the probability should be different depending on which spell. Like first level should be higher, more likely for you to get back for free. Fourth should be less likely. Which you could do as a that number higher thing. All of the D4 ones are for free. You get infinite all first level spell slots, and then like you need to find a way to be below than 1, which is like D8 minus 4 means 50% of the time for first level spells, and then very unlike not very likely for fourth. I think that works. It's more complicated, so I understand why I wouldn't do that way. Or you could do actually probably the better way to do it would be probably wording it as 3. If it is equal to or greater than 3 plus a spell's level, then that way it works. So 50%, or you could even do 2 plus a spell's level if you want to be a little more likely. So, or actually, no, better way to do it would be to roll a d10 instead. So rather than d8s. So, or yeah, because 3 plus, then because that would increase the well. Is it better? I don't know. But it could do it that way instead. So, but again, because it's like I put 50% for first level spell is fine, but 25% for fourth is not fine. Like, because that's blight. I mean, fireballs is also at 40% chance, 25% chances to re-get it back. I mean, granted, system I propose would have less for fire. Well, no, because favor fireball. So ranger doesn't get this. Notice bard, or eldritch knight, or arcane trickster, elephant archer teacher, whatever. But like bard and ranger not getting that is like. I think it should require the spell casting or pact magic feature, not major priest group. So, because you end up revealing ranger and like bargain high and dry. If I'm gonna choose side, you can choose 60 feet. Make it 120. The balls. It's only a priest. I mean, okay, I can understand. I can understand. Well, the one expert, it's magic, but like, I can see why, but also Monocyte Ranger though. But guidance resistant, light resistant, bane. I don't really care about this spell list at all. Divine Favor is transmutation. Instead of evocation, I think. I don't quite understand why this change is necessary, but abjuration. Does best transmutation, which is evocation before. Also has enchantment. Evocation before. Find Seas Conjuration. Glimmering Smite. Formerly Branding Smite. But I like the name Branding Smite. Okay, I don't understand why you changed the name from Branding Smite, so. But Branding Smite is a cool name than Glimmering Smite. But. Glimmering sounds like a fairy. Branding sounds more like a epic kind of thing. Perfect healing information. I knew that. Blind Smite transmutation. True systematic transmutation. Interesting. Banishment's conjuration. Like, I understand it, but at the same time, what? To me, banishment's kind of quintessential abjuration. Like you're abjuring something. Like you. Abjure foes is the name of the feature right here. Abjure foes. What's the root word of abjuration? Abjure. Abjure foes. And is making them go away. Making them fuck off. What is banishment doing? Making them fuck off. Why is banishment not a... Hello? Why would banishment not be abjuration? It's like... How... I guess are they trying to know what abjuration is, but like they don't make it be called abjuration anymore. Make it called defense or some shit. Like it's making it the defense one. Okay, abjuration has become the defense of school. I can see that, but at the same time, abjuration, you are literally abjuring. Solemnly renounce. Hey. Yeah, okay. Like, renounce. You're getting... There's not a spell that is more abjuring something than banishment, apart from, like fear, which is not an abjuration spell. Or, like, fear's not really that. Like, there are very few spells that are more abjuration than banishment, and yet it's now no longer banishment. And conjuring something is like the exact opposite of what you're doing. Like, sure, it's teleportation magic. It's the same idea of you're teleporting something somewhere else. Like, it's like scatter. So you're conjuring. It's conjuring something, but like, and from like an in-world standpoint, if you ignore the name from an in-world standpoint, abjuration is the weave that deals defensive effects. Okay, and then conduit deals with things that are teleporting creatures. Okay, good. But the naming system, though, the names for them is not matching up. Which is whatever. It's probably been, I assume it's the first edition. Like, or it's the way it is. It's the way it's been. It's like, okay, sure. You're not going to call it. Although, defense, teleportation, kind of dumb names. And, like, I wouldn't be happy with those either. But, like, I don't know about that. I don't quite agree with that. I don't like it. I don't think it's stinky. Yeah, hit the word. Staggering Spine is enchantment. Okay, yeah. Banishment is conjuration, of course. Ask yours is banishment. That heals operation. Yeah, but that's what do you? Yeah. Okay, spells, Druidcraft, Guidance, Mending, Masses, Poison Spray, Priest Flame, Resistance, Shillelagh, Spare the Dying, Thorn Whip. Okay. I guess Thorn Whip is a Druid, but cantrip spell. I guess cantrip, that would be kind of high priority. Animal Friendship, create food and create water, cure wounds. It's produced with evocation, Sag for Ranger, but we don't do that. Take magic, divination, poison, disease, Unarmed Strike, Entangle, Fairy Fire, Fog Cloud, Goodberry, Hail Thorns, Healing Word, Hunter's Mark, Jump, Long Strider, Purify Food and Drink, Speak with Animals, Thunderwave, Meditation, not ranging it, so ranging it. Alum Messenger, Augury, Barkskin, Beast Sense, Coordinate of Arrows, Dark Vision, Enhanced Ability, Large Size Reduce, Fine Traps, Flame Blade, Flaming Sphere, Gentle Repose, Gust of Wind, Easy Evocation, Sag, Heat Metal, Lesser Restoration, Locate, Flaming Sphere is also made evocation against Sag. Look at this conjuration before, and they want to make it not range a thing, so. Looking at the plans. Locate object. Moonbeam. Path of the trace. Pushing for poison. Silence. Silencio. There would be this bite growth. Call lightning. Conjure animals. Conjure barrage, which is kind of funny. It's not a druid spell, but daylight. Dispel magic. Elemental weapon. Feign death, lightning air, massing, word, melt into stone, non-detection, plant growth, protect from energy, revivify, sleet storm, speed plants, water breathing, water walk, wind walk, conjure minor elementals, conjure willing beings, control water, dominate beast, feeder movement, friend insect, grasping bind, ice storm, lucky creature, polymorph. Oh, it's blight. That's what we put right here. Blight's not there still. Sag. Someone's transmutation. Okay, yeah, yes, that makes sense thematically. But like the whole thing, like abjuration is not a defensive thing. Hello, Stoneskin. Also, like if you're going for the whole, it's thematically what is it? Well, guess what? All your healing supposed to be should be necromancy. They're literally reviving cells. It's literally what they're doing. You're reviving a creature. Granted, it's part of another creature, but it is a cell, multicellular life forms. Like you're like single cellular life form. If you're trying to revive a virus, which is or any sort of other single cellular life form. Oh, virus is weird, but if you're gonna do the single cellular life form, like. So virus is always single cellular. Bacteria, whatever. Protozoa. I don't know my biology very well. Um, I'm fine with genetics and zoology. Thank you very much. Yeah. Well, more so. Not more so. I am, but not. Yeah, not professionally. But no, pretty well. Brain. Why don't you work? Doing macro stuff, not micro. Also external, not internal, generally. But grand scale stuff. Brain. Yeah. So if you're reviving something like if you're killing, you're restoring cells, you're reviving them back to life. That is necromancy. Killing spells should be necromancy. Like that's what they're doing. That's what they should be. If you're going for the inworld stuff, healing spells should be necromancy. It's the way it should be. Because it's like necromancy, death. It's like, but like also true resurrection. So like that's not true. So like you are resurrecting something. It's just on a small scale rather than a macro scale. You're doing micro scale, not macro scale. Like you're done. It's wildfire, invocation, and a left shell, abjuration. Maybe that doesn't. Awaken, coming with nature, conjure elemental, conjure volley. Again, we're happy to spell, but you know. Got refrigeration is. I assume you know all these already, but I'm reading them. Not that I'm gonna notice the difference, but Welcome, conjure Fey, find the path, heal, move earth, sunbeam, transport via plans, wall of ice, wall of thorns, wind walk. Only 3 summon spells. F. Firestorm, regenerate, reverse gravity, animal shapes, control weather, earthquake, tsunami, powered heal, powered heal. Don't think it's going to do a spell. Shape change for revenge and true resurrection. I want to make sure I don't say something dumb in a second. I didn't write down a time for Paladin. No, that's not. I would greater as well. Less than 4 minutes. Okay, so they lost foresight, but gained powered heal. Bigger, why do you ride down with shiver? Is it was actually? I just looked at all of them. Well, I'm okay. I don't really care about the first little ones, but like. Because they're all. It's just the PHB with spells. So also, do silence. You see, do silence. Any of the illusion spells. Cause like silence spell the paladin really doesn't have. Yeah, this is silence is the only illusion spell. Why did it? I'm just plus 11. This is not 11, but if I go on a page, it's 11. Yeah. Okay. Guidance, light. They lose mending. Resistance, sacred flame, spit of dying, thaumaturgy. Bane, bless, command. They lose they gain compel duel because from paladin. Cure wounds, detect evil and good, detect magic. Detect poison and disease, divine favor, which they gain from paladin. Guiding bolt, healing word, hair wisdom, which they gain from paladin. Healing word. We're passing the word. Inflict wounds, protection from evil and good, purify food and drink, sanctuary, shield of faith. No, for the faith. They gain string of smite from paladin. They gain thunder smite from paladin. They gain raffle smite from paladin. We already knew that. We don't need to clear for getting all the smites. So we've got aid, augury, blindness, deafness, calm emotions. They gain. They lose enhance ability. They lose continual flame. They gain fine state from paladin. They gain fine. No, they already had fine traps. Fine traps. Don't repose. They gain Blinding Smite from Paladin. Now called Glimmering Smite. I'm probably gonna still call it Branding Smite though. Like I said, I don't understand why they call it Branding, the name change, but I guess sorry, I said Branding Smite is counts more epic than Glimmering. Hold person. They already list restoration. Locate object. They gain magic weapon, probably from Paladin. Yes, from Paladin. Pray of healing, protection from poison, silence. Spiritual weapon, wording bond, and zone of truth. So everything's the same there. They gain aura of vitality from Paladin, and I think they have aura of vitality in the Tasha's. But speaking of hope, so they lose animate dead. You have hope. Gain Blank Smite from Paladin. Lose Bestow Curse. Clairvoyance. Create Food and Water. Gain Crusader's Mantle from Paladin. Daylight. Dispel Magic. Feign Death. Glyph of Warding. Match Circle. Massling Word. They lose Protection from Energy. Interesting. Remove Curse. Revivify. They lose Sending. Speak with the dead. Spirit Guardians, Tongues. They lose Water Walk. I think we already knew that. Gain over life from Paladin. Gain over priority from Paladin. Banishment, control. They lose control water. Death Ward, Divination, Freedom of Movement, Guardian of Faith. Locate creature. They gain target smite from Paladin, and they lose Stone Shape. Gain Banishing Smite from Paladin. Gain Circle of Power from Paladin. Commune. Contagion. Which is they've Contagion, not been so curious, but whatever. I don't really care. It's not interesting. They gain sort of wave from Paladin. Spell evil and good. Flame Strike. Geese. As pronounced. Great Restoration. Hollow. Legend Lore. Which they lose Insect Plague. I assume Tempest Man Cleric's gonna get in their spells. The best of spells though. Mass Cure Wounds. Planar Binding, which I'll see if Druid still doesn't have because another major one for Druid. Raise Dead, Scrying. Okay. Blade Barrier. I have no idea why. They lose Create Undead. Understandable. Find the Path. Forbiddance. Harm. Heal. Hero's Feast. Planar Ally. They gain Sunbeam. Choosing Word of Recall. Conjure Celestial. Divine Word. Ethelness. Fire. They lose Firestorm. Understandable. Plane Shift. Regenerate. Resurrection. And Symbol. Animated Field. Control. They lose control. They gain Animated Sympathy. They lose Control Weather. They get Holy Orb from Paladin. They gain Sunburst. Does Paladin have Sunbeam and Sunburst? No, because it's higher spell than Paladins have. No doubt. Wait, Holy Orb they did not give Paladin. Hold on, brain. Wait. Huh. Yo. Holy. No, wait, no. They always have Holy Orb. I mean, Sunburst is. I thought there's the last spell there, so it confused me because here's not the last one. So, but astral projection. Um, they gain foresight. Gate. So they took foresight from Druid and gave it to Cleric. Okay, whatever. Mass heal. They gain power word heal. Just shaft bard even more. And they gain true resurrection. No, they can't. They self. What am I saying? They have resurrection. Yeah, so they took power word heal from bard and gave it to everyone else instead. It's like, wow. Rude, aren't you? Dude, Druidcraft, guidance, mending. They gain message. Poison spray, produce flame, resistance, shillelagh. They gain spit the dying, and thorn whip. Animal friendship. They lose charm person, clears their water, cure wounds, detect magic, detect poison and disease, ensnaring strike they gain from ranger, entangle, fairy fire, fog cloud, good berry. They gain hail thorns from ranger, healing word. They get hunter's mark from ranger. Another weird spell for Druid have, but they have it now. Oh, hunter's mark plus the trick of the moon. Interesting. Also, you can probably cast Prohander Barrage from your with V spells. Huh. Whatever it is. Jump. Long sweater, pure food and drink. Speak with animals. Thunderwave. Animal messenger. They gain augury, which they had augury from Tasha's. Bark skin, beast sense, corn of arrows they gain from ranger. Dark vision, enhance ability. Enlarge side reduce. They gain find traps, flame blade. Sadly, invocation spell. Well, actually, I don't want to use it in a ranger though. So, flaming sphere. Gust. They gain just repose, which they might have had from Tasha's. Gust of wind, heat metal, less They lose hold person, lesser restoration. Locate animals or plants. Locate object. Moonbeam. Path without trace. Protection from poison. They gain silence, and then spike growth. Silence might be from ranger. I'm not sure though. Yeah, silence is from ranger. So call lightning, conjure animals. They gain conjure barrage from ranger. Daylight, dispel magic. They gain elemental weapon from ranger. I'm pretty sure. Right. No, they just gain elemental weapon. Cool. Although they feign death, lightning arrow, which they gain from ranger. Massing word, which they gain. They gain massing word. They may have had massing word from Tasha's, but I'm not sure. Meld into stone, non-detection, which they gain from ranger, right? Yes. Plant growth, protection from energy. They gain revivify, which was also present in Tasha's, I'm pretty sure. Sleet storm, speak with plants, water breathing, water walk, windval, conjure minor elemental. So they lose blight, they lose confusion, conjure minor elementals, conjure willing beings, control water, dominate beast, freedom of movement, giant insect, grasping vine. They lose hallucinatory terrain. Ice Storm, Locate Creature, Polymorph, Stone Shape, Stone Skin, Wall of Fire. We also like 3 spells in 4th. 3 spells. And Life Shell, Awaken, Commune with Nature, Conjure Elemental, Conjure Void, which they gain from Ranger. They lose Contagion, they lose Geese, Great Restoration, Insect Plague, Mass Cure Wounds. They lose Planar Binding, fuck off. Reincarnate, Scrying. They gain Swift Quiver from Ranger, Tree Stride, Wall of Stone. They got Conjure Fey, Find the Path, Heal. They gain they lose Hero's Feast, Move Earth, Sunbeam, Transport via plants. They gain Wall of Ice. This is fun before already. Yeah, I just fell. Okay. We just fell into HP. I said it was, but I want to check. Wall of Thorns, Windwalk. They have Firestorm. They lose Mirage Arcane. They lose Plane Shift. Then Regenerating Reverse Gravity. Then we have Animal Shapes, and they lose Anaphy Sympathy. So, which was moved to Cleric. Basically. Well, I think Cleric had Anaphy Sympathy and Tasha's, though. Control Weather, Earthquake. They lose Feeble Mind, Sunburst, Tsunami. Then they gain Powered Heal. They lose Foresight. Lose Foresight, gain Powered Heal. Then Shape Change, Storm of Vengeance, and True Resurrection. Okay. Paladin also gains all the cantrips there. They gain Bless. They gain Bane. Everything's the same so far. What's okay? Disease, Divine Favor. They gain Guiding Bolt. They gain Healing Word. Heroism. They gain Inflict Wounds. Pressure from Evil and Good. Preparing Drink. They gain Sanctuary. Searing Smite. Shield of Faith. Thunder Smite. Wrathless Smite. Aid. Branding Smite. They lose Augury. No. They gain Augury. Possibly because which I think is also Tasha's though. Also, yeah. So you, so I'm not gonna do that. I want to. I don't know how much premium usage it has. Whatever. That made it a few more, but a few less. But I don't know. Oh, right. Augury. Right. So the spells. Burning Smite. Yeah. So they gain call emotions. Find Steed. Find Trap. They gain Find Traps. They gain Gentle Repose. They gain Hold Person. Less Restoration. Locate Object. Magic Weapon. They gain Prayer of Healing, which they probably had it from. Actually, they had from Tasha's. Protection from Poison. They gain Silence. They gain Spiritual Weapon, which they may have Tasha's, but I have actually no idea. They gain Warding Bond, and then Throne of Truth. Or Vitality. Beacon. They gain Beacon of Hope. Blinding Smite. They gain Clairvoyance. Create Food and Water. Crusader's Mantle. Daylight. Dispel Magic. They lose Elemental Weapon. Feign Death, which they gain. They gain Glyph of Warding. They magical. They gain Massling Word. Remove Curse. Revivify. They gain Speak of the Dead. They gain Spirit Guardians. They gain Tongues. Aura of Life. Aura of Purity. They get Banishment. Death Ward. They gain Divination. They gain freedom of movement. They gain Guardian of Faith. Look at creature. Staggering Smite. And Banishing Smite. Circle Power. They gain Commune. They gain Contagion. Destructive Wave. It's probably feeling good. They gain Flame Strike. Geese. They gain Greater Restoration. They gain Hollow. They gain Legend Lore. They gain Mass Cure Wounds. They gain Planar Binding. Why is on the why is Paladin Raise Dead. They gain Scrying. I don't know. They're doing Planar Binding. There's frick out of me. Then they don't have the 6 spells, obviously. So at least I assume they don't. I don't think I didn't check. I made an assumption. I'm not sure I heard it said. I'm not sure it's about scrolling, but I assume they didn't change it at all. But they don't seem to have changed it. Beyond, of course, we knew it was different from Ranger. Okay, now for Ranger, obviously they gain all the cantrips, so most it'll be. Well, no. They gain Druidcraft, they gain Guidance, they gain Mending. Well, it's ignoring if you ignore the fighting style, the Druidic Warrior, they gain Druidcraft, they gain Guidance, they gain Mending, they gain Message, Poison Spray, not Bruce Flame, Resistance Speed Soleil, Thorn Whip. Okay. They lose Alarm? Ranger loses Alarm? Odd. Okay then. Animal Messenger. Animal Friendship. They gain create Ursa Water, Cure Wounds, Detect Magic, Detect Poison, Disease, Ensnaring Strike. They gain Entangle. They gain no. I'm not paying attention to the spell school. They do not gain Fairy Fire. Fog Cloud, Goodberry, Hail of Thorns. They gain Healing Word, Hunter's Mark, Jump, Longsider, Pure Food and Drink, Speak with Animals, and Thunder Wave. They all gain. No. They gain Purified Food and Drink. They gain and they gain Thunder Wave. They already have to Speak with Animals. Animal Messenger. They gain Augury, Bark Skin, Beast Sense, Corn of Arrows, Dark Vision. They gain Enhanced Ability. They gain a large test reduce. Find Traps. I actually didn't know how to gust the wind. Why did I think of gust of wind? Oh, they added Tasha's, didn't they? Yeah, they added Aid, Enhanced Ability, Gust of Wind, Magic Weapon, and Summon Beast. Well, Summon Beast helping Tasha's, but so I took back Gust of Wind. Freedom, forgive me. Where were we? To repose. Okay. Yeah, they gain on repose. They gain heat metal, lesser restoration, look at animals and plants. Look at object. The Paslet trace. Push from poison. Silence. Spike growth. They gain Call Lightning. Cool. Conjure animals. Conjure barrage. Just they gain dispel magic. They lose daylight. They gain dispel magic. They gain elemental weapon. They may have had Tasha's, but I'd check. I didn't know those spells. Two. Yeah, okay. They gain Feign Death. Lightning Arrow. They gain Mass Healing Word. They gain Meld of Stone. Non-detection. Plant growth. Protection from energy. They gain Revivify. They may have had it from Tasha's, but I don't think they did. They gain Sleep Storm to the plants. Water breathing. Water walk. And then they lose Wind Wall. They gain Conjure minor elementals. Conjure woodland beings. They gain Control water. They gain Dominate beast. Freedom of movement. They gain Giant insect. Grasping vine. Locate creature. They gain polymorph. They gain stone shape. Stone skin. Yeah. Okay. They gain anti-life shell. They gain awaken. Commune with nature. They gain conjure elemental. Conjure volley. They gain greater restoration. They gain into plague. They gain mass cure wounds. They gain reincarnate. They gain scrying. They gain swift quiver. No. They already have swift quiver. They already have tree tried, and they do not gain Wallstone. So they gain deal with fiddle spells. But that's because in the PSP they only have 5. They only have 4 fiddle spells in commune with nature, conjure volley, swift quiver, and tree stride. And half of those spells they gave to Druid because they didn't have it because Druid didn't have the spells. It kind of feels like Ranger being shafted a little bit, but might also give me just hyper fixating because I'm somebody plays a lot of Rangers, so I pay a lot more attention to that than other things. So okay, Banishing Smite, bonus action, which you take immediately after hitting a creature with an weapon or an unarmed strike. Cool. Okay, I would love to see that. Duration 1 minute. Because it could be the concentrating piece, like the next time you hit, whatever, etc. 90. I should pull up the different. Probably this doesn't cause anything. This to crash at all. It should be fine, but I don't trust it anymore. So I could probably replace the web pattern there. Ooh, we want Smite. Okay. Same damage. And the must see saying there will be transported to a harmless dome plane for the duration. But Banishment has also changed as well. While in the dome plane, the target has an incapacitated condition. At the end of each of its turns, this target repeats the save, ending the spell on itself on a success. When the spell ends on the target, it reappears in the space it left, or in the nearest unoccupied space if the target space is occupied. If the target lasts for the spell lasts on the target for 1 minute, and the target is an aberration, celestial, an elemental, a fey, or a fiend, the target doesn't return. It is instead transported to a random location on a plane associated with its creature type. So here, if it's 50% of here, it is banished, and then the creature is set to the plane as a native too. No plane. If they you're on the creature advantage or harm the play while there is incapacitated, means there's no spell ends. I would put the target returns to the space but left. So basically, as the whole like waited like anturn period where like it waits and also can escape and stuff. So, Blinding Smite again. This piece has changed. The target is hit by an attack. Strike takes an extra 3d radiant damage, and the target must succeed on a constant save throw, be blinded until the spell ends. At the end of each turn, the blind creature can refuse a saving throw at the end of the spell effect on itself, and the effect on the spell on itself on a success. You can also upcast it as well. You can't, but I thought you can upcast, and you can upcast Banishment Smites, and Blind Smite can also upcast for element damage. Same amount of damage, and then again also now I'll allow you to repeat the saving throw as well. So, but there's no concentration on it though. So, Five Familiar, we looked at that. Find Steed, we looked at. Okay. Formerly known as Brownie's Bite. The target hit by the strike takes an extra 2d6 radiant damage. Okay, amount of damage. And if it has the physical condition, the condition ends on it. In addition, until the spell ends, the creature sheds bright light in a 5-foot radius and tackles against it have advantage. Okay. Attack against it have advantage. It's still a spell though. There's concentration for 1 minute. Okay. It was like Fairy Fire but into an attack. Basically. Kind of. Searing Smite. Anything change here. As you hit the target, your strike flares with hot intensity, and the target takes an extra 1d6 fire damage and ignites magical fire. At the start of each of its turns until the spell ends, the target must succeed in causing a saving throw on a filter. The creature takes 1d6 fire damage on the spell on a success. The spell ends. Density, fire damage. They're on the filter. And then if a target or a creature within 5, you look at it, and you also can no longer put out the flames either. So, as you see the saving throw. So dying. The other that has the dying condition. That's new. The creature regains 1 hit point. Okay, so no stabilization, just gains 1 hit point. Everything else seems to be the same though. Staggering Smite. Actually, I want to look at the dying condition real quick. I assume it's something interesting, but that's not what I wanted to do. Control F. Dying. I'm probably do like that. Oh. Well, those brackets. Played off to 0 points. That character has the dying condition, which replaces the following rule. The following zero. A player character, yeah. While dying, you experience the following. You have 0 hit points. If you regain any number of hit points while dying, this condition ends on you. I found that, not that. But, knocked out, you have the unconscious condition. Death saving throws. At the start of each of your turns, you must make a death saving throw, a special save that isn't tied to the ability score. But now, if you roll a 10 or higher, you succeed. Otherwise, you fail. A success really has no effect on it by itself. The successes and failures don't have to be consecutive. Both and take up 3 of the kind effects on which are shown below. When this condition ends, you set successes and failures to 0. When you make a death saving throw, death save and roll a 1 on the 220, it causes 2 failures. When you roll a 20, you regain 1 HP. 3 failures. On the third failure, you die. 6 successes. On the third success, you regain 1 hit point. This condition ends on you as normal, but you are still unconscious. And start a short rest. Interesting. You can remain unconscious until you regain any number of hit points, or until another creature uses an action to administer first aid to you, which requires a successful D10 Wisdom Medicine check. You start a short rest. Interesting. Huh. It's like a warlock if it's knocked down, it can then get the spells on its back. Um, or monkeys or humans and stuff. Interesting. Damage. If you obviously you have to sit down for an hour, but you know, if you take, I would imagine after an hour you get back up. I assume you again will hit dice and you'd be no longer unconscious. But um, if you take any damage, you suffer one death saving throw failure. If you suffer a critical hit, you suffer two death saving throw failures. Oh, this is. Oh, no, I'm not doing this right now. Out of curiosity. So, okay, let's talk about what's right there. Well, okay, I'll do that when I get there. Um, as you hit the creature, as you hit the creature, your strike produces both body and mind. It's 46 psychic damage, and the creature and the target must succeed on a wisdom saving throw. Will be the stun condition until the end of your next turn. So it's stunned rather than disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks. Yeah, okay, this is better. That's better. Um, that's really good. But Thunder Smites. As you hit the target, the strike means thunder, 300 feet of you, 2 6 thunder damage. The same thing will be not push 10 feet away and knocked prone. Yeah, it's the same thing. Just a different. That's the only change. Wrathless Might. I think it when it's fire damage and it must succeed. And there will be have further fire condition until the spell ends. At the end of each turn, you say there. Okay. 26. Frightened. Yeah, so a wisdom check. Saving throw. Well, this is the way it should be. That's about the way I've ruled that, so. Okay. So new entries, 5 entries, D20 test, difficult terrain. Rolling a D1 on a D20 no longer awards. Well, that's dumb. Fuck you. I like that change. Like those, like. Well, but fuck it off. Just a ton of it's new. I don't want to memorize all this fucking stuff. Armor training, blind sight, climbing speed, creature type, teach me test. Train. Oh, because it's a new entry or is it new? Modified. Okay, what else? Your allies are no longer difficult terrain for you, and furniture is difficult terrain if it's one size smaller or than you are larger. Okay, so subsection of attack, clarifying how weapons likely changed that cause you to fall. Okay, I should look at these info things. Okay, well, the first we do with these is knocking a creature out. I'll start on con because I'm curious about it. Okay. While unconscious, you experience the following effects. Inner. You have the incapacitated and prone conditions, and you drop whatever you are holding when this condition ends. You remain prone. Yep. Speed just 0 and cannot change. Attack rolls against you have advantage. fails strength. You might fail strength. Any attack roll against you is equal if the creature is within 5 feet. Right, yeah. So that's the difference. Okay, that's why you can have a normal hit against you while unconscious because it's range. No matter your surroundings. Yeah, it's something different, really. Okay. Knocking. Sometimes an attacker wants to knock out a foe rather than deal damage. Dial a killing blow. An attacker would reduce a creature to 0 hit points with a melee attack. That can instead reduce the creature to 0 hit points. The creature then has the unconscious condition and starts a short rest. The creature remains unconscious until it regains any hit points or until someone uses an action to administer first aid to it, which requires a DC 10 check. Short rest. Okay. A focus is a 1 hour period of downtime during which a creature does nothing more than nothing more strenuous than eating, drinking, reading, dozing, and standing watch. Just at her short rest, you must have at least 1 hit point. When you begin the rest, you gain the following. Yeah, so they clarified it. That wasn't very clear, typically. Well, actually, no, that's not true. But well, cause like yeah, yeah, but not like walking. Oh. What was it? Eating, drinking, or reading? It's a little bit clearer. I don't know. Not really. However, to start a short rest, you must have at least 1 hit point. When you finish the rest, you gain 5 minutes. Spend hit dice. You can spend 1 or more of your hit dice to regain hit points. For each hit die you spend in this way, you roll the die and add your constitution modifier to it. You gain a total. You decide to spend an additional hit die after each roll. Yeah, okay. And it's charged by a short rest. If you have such a feature, it is recharges in the specified way specified in its description. Yeah. And the rest. It starts to stop by defying interruptions. Enrolling initiative, casting a spell that is other than a 0 level spell, taking damage. And enter risk confers no benefits, and it must be started over to confer any. It doesn't address what happens. Like I assume if you're unconscious but like at 1 HP you went unconscious due to being not unconscious or seeing your 3 saving throws. I assume after, because you start short rest, then I assume if you finish that short rest, the hour-long short rest, you then are no longer unconscious. They're not specifying, so the upcoming word article will introduce new weapon options. These options will differentiate weapons from each other more clearly. For the most short switchable, Inspector Marshall will have different rules. If that's the kind of difference they're making, I'm going to be pissed. Differentiate them. Allow me to differentiate them for you. That's a scimitar. Well, that's probably an army sword, not really a short sword. That's a bigger problem. It's short sword. It's an army sword, not short sword and scimitar. Scimitar is not like short sword at all. Yeah, you got past all the pole arms. That's what they need to be adding. Pole arms. Not making a differentiation between scimitar and short sword. short sword. I mean, I guess there is. I guess there is a. Mm, there's some issue because like hangers and like short swords. There's something to that because a hanger is a short sword, but a hanger looks like that. So I guess. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I guess sure. Because the actual term short sword is generally more of a it's pretty broad. So, but the difference is piercing slashing damage. But like, eh, um, so like, I mean, like, sure, I guess, yeah, because I was saying like a hanger is like a short sword is a pretty broad term. Like so like a hanger is a short sword because consider a short sword, but it has a curved blade and be more like it does slashing damage. The problem is more that short sword doesn't is just a piercing damage weapon, but in also like scimitar is like it's the problem that the last short sword does piercing damage is the problem. So like it's just a lot of piercing damage. So like you can combine the two of them both. And then doing both. Like scimitar, you just differentiate because like a scimitar is not a short sword. That's the thing. That's the thing I reacted to it originally because a scimitar is not a short sword. However, the term short sword applies to ones that would deal slashes and would be classified as a scimitar in D&D like hangers. But scimitar as a term of a weapon is not a short sword, and they don't find the similarities. And like most scimitars are not really good. Well, they're not the best weapons in terms of piercing damage. But the hangers are also not big at piercing damage, but they are type of short sword. So there is a overlap in terminology between what a short sword is by terminology, what a short sword means, and what a scimitar is mechanically in D&D. There's no my original reaction is because like there's no mechanical overlap between short sword and scimitar. There's none. But that's not true. There's not a weapon that's both a short sword and a scimitar thematically, mechanically. It's just not that way. Because of the whole piercing damage slash flat damage thing, but like, multiple damage types. Should do multiple damage types. Thematically, there's also no overlap because a scimitar is not a short sword. However, like I was getting to there are some short swords that, by the term short sword, are mechanically scimitars. There are no scimitars that are mechanically short swords, but there are short swords that are mechanically scimitars. But that's because of the name is scimitar. That's really a big change. But like, or short sword should just be a weapon that deals piercing or slashing damage, and then scimitar is just like, it's still there. It is not the white light weapon property. Maybe it's a D8, but no. Though, because also the usage in a hanger is different than the usage of a scimitar. Because scimitar is a draw cut. Hangers are so I typically pretty sure still mostly a chopping cut. But you probably use both. No, it's both chop. Like, you use hangers that's like we deal with boars and stuff. So it's hunting swords is kind of used for them. But like a cutlass is a type of small short sword. So like it's in that area like hangers and like yeah, Curtle Axe, which is what a cutlass is the name it's evolved from. It's like a hanger kind of thing, which because it's a short sword, but like a cutlass is kind of more is mechanically a scimitar. So, but telepathy. Okay, telepathy is a magical ability that allows a creature to communicate mentally with another creature within a specified range. The contacted creature doesn't need to share language with the telepath to understand this communication, but the contacted creature must be able to understand at least one language or we telepathic itself to understand. So it kind of like, so basically, it's putting like a lot of they say you have telepathy, and then they like go into what the deals of telepathy means. Here's putting it all into here. A telepath doesn't need to see a contacted creature, and then the telepath can start or end the telepathic connection at any time. Telepathic contact is broken as soon as the contacted creature is no longer within telepathy's range. If the telepath contacts a different creature within range, or if the telepath has the incapacitation. Okay, there's detailed information we haven't really had before. This piece right here. We'll see this piece. This is kind of going to be kind of implied to an extent. Well, can you tell what both people incapacitated? I think you can't take actions or reactions or bonus actions, which sometimes actions though. But a creature without telepathy can receive telepathic messages, but can't initiate a telepathic conversation. Once the telepathic conversation starts, the non-telepath can communicate mentally to the telepath until the telepathic connection ends. Yes, I'm glad it's been established. Thank you. No more trash telepathy. Okay. Unconscious we were addressed. So, D20 test. That's just fucking stupid. That's what I liked about the change to inspiration. So, difficult terrain. Maybe we'll wear that because that's equip weapons. Equip. 2 Ps. You can equip a weapon or unequip one weapon before or after each attack you make as part of this action. If you equip before or after each attack you make as part of this action, okay, if you equip a weapon before an attack, you don't need to use it for that attack. Equipping a weapon includes drawing it from a sheath, picking it up, or retrieving it from a container. Unequipping a weapon includes sheathing it, stowing it, or dropping it. Okay, so it's once per attack. That's probably the attack action. Yeah, that should be. Before or after. So you can't. If you draw a longsword, you can't then unequip the longsword and then draw your longbow and then attack. You'd have to already have your longsword drawn, then attack it, drop it, and then draw the longbow. So, fly speed. What? Can I just do this? Oh, I can do this. Highlight, Control F. Oh, fuck you. Can I do this? Is it me failing or is it? No, I just can't. Okay. I'm gonna drag it up there, but I can't. Fly speed. A fly speed can be used to travel through the air while in the fly speed you can stay aloft until you land or fall or die. While flying, you fall if you lack the hover trait and you have the incapacitated or prone condition, or your fly speed is 0. Or this, or that, So tell me, and have the incapacitated prone condition, or your fly speed. Okay, you're saying if you have the incapacitated or prone condition, or your flying speed is 0, because these are both conditions. That's why I said that way. I was thrown off because yeah. Grappled. Please don't be bad. Grappling was finally good. I'm scared. Hold me. While grabbing, you experience the following effects. Your speed is 0 and cannot change. Attacks you have disadvantage on attack rolls against any target other than the grappler. Movable. The grappler can drag or carry you when it moves, but every foot of movement costs one extra foot unless you are tiny or two or times smaller. Okay, so before you had this load condition, which meant these things, I think. They basically got rid of this load condition, okay. Escape. While grappled, you can use your action to make a strength, athletics, or dexterity acrobatics check against the grapple's escape DC, ending the effect condition on yourself on a success. The condition also ends if the grappler has the incapacitated condition. Yeah, this is what we know. So yeah, basically just this low condition. Okay, fine. Help action. Now works with 2 proficiencies. Okay. Yeah, skill or 2. Okay, yeah. Choose 1 skill or 2. Your proficiency. 2 proficiencies and 1 ally who can perceive you. You gave advantage to the next ability check that the ally makes. With a chosen skill or 2 will requires if the ally doesn't use it before the end of their next turn. Okay. Heroic advantage. Okay. Hold me. Again. It was finally good at something I would use. For possibly the speed ones. Previously, in first was based on something of Highlander speed to use. There's a chance it may go back to it being something I just hiddenly. I just hide it. Like basically, I give you advantage, but I think you deserve it based on role playing and stuff. When you have hero advantage, also called inspiration, you can expend it to give yourself advantage on a d20 test. You decide to do so immediately after rolling the d20. Gain hero advantage. Okay, it's afterwards. Nice. Okay, the DM can award hero advantage to a player who's done something that's particularly heroic or in character. I'm guessing this as human. Also gain award hero advantage. Yep, back to somewhat use. Okay, lovely. It basically it's worded poorly before, though it is. Imagine both had a reaction. Yeah, it just okay. Because it's broken, you can't speak. Okay, so they've established that. But if you're incapacitated when you roll initiative, you have disadvantage on the roll. Okay. So this part's new. Is speed just new? Can't be called. Yeah, no, it is new. I was pretty sure it was just the first piece, but I want to make sure. Although this is probably the spellcasting area, just moved it here, so they've been kind of condensing stuff as well. Every section of the rule. Okay then. Okay, how is the best way to find this? Should go up. Okay. Along with the period of the veteran now available to any creature, it allows you to sleep at least 6 hours for no more than 2 hours of light activity, such as reading, talking, eating, or listening. Watch. During the sleep, you have the unconscious condition. To start all HD. You. And I should change this light. Grab some of light. I know there is. HD is because of high definition and like I don't think HD and hit dice. I think hit dice. Hit dice. Hit dice. Hit points. Hit point. Everyone uses hit points. HP for hit points. So but like hit dice. Like hit dice. HD. Hit dice. It takes me about on stage. So like obviously it's more text and like it's not even this way, but and do I care? No. Well, if I write it, my OC might kill a little bit, but I myself don't. Because I wasn't wrote it. Also, it is something I'll probably get used to at some point, but that's not used to it, so. after a year of seeing it at FHD, I'm like it's used to it being HD, but like HP, but yeah. Yeah. So you can find benefit beyond HP. You can also benefit hit dice. Your massman was reduced. It was returns to normal. If any of your ability scores were reduced, they return normal. If you have the exhausted condition, your levels of exhaustion decreases by 1 special feature, are recharged by long rest. If you have such a feature, it recharges in the way specified in its description. After you finish a long rest, you must wait at least 16 hours before starting another one. Yep. Better way to word. That was a better way of wording. But this is like you only one per 20 hour period, so 1 a day. So obviously 16 hours. That's set it up well. So a long rest is stopped by the following condition: rolling initiative, casting a spell other than for cantrip, taking any damage, 1 hour of walking or other physical exertion. Okay. If the rest was at least 1 hour long before this interruption, you gain the benefits of a short rest. You can resume a long rest immediately after the interruption. If you do so, the rest requires 1 additional hour to finish per interruption. Yeah. Let me turn to me before. There. Move. This would be very annoying to find. Okay. If you move on your turn, you can use this. Oh, wait. No. It's not gonna be. It's not. No. There's so many places to move. Gosh darn it. I put a space, but it's meant to be a space. Where it is? There's. Finally. When you move, you can go a distance equal to your speed or less. For example, if you you have a speed of 30 feet, you can move 30 feet. When you move, 30 feet, move. Difficulty terrain can slow you down. Breaking up your move. Well, you can break up your move using some of its movement before and after any action you take on the turn. So, for example, if you move 30, if you have a speed of 30 feet, and you can go 10 feet, taking an action, and then go 20 feet, moving around other creatures. During your move, you can pass through the space of an ally, a creature that has an incapacitated condition, a tiny creature, or a creature who is 2 sizes larger or smaller than you. Another creature's space is difficult terrain for you unless the creature is tiny or your ally. You can't willingly end your move in a space occupied by another creature. Willingly. That's where you're incorporeal, or is that incorporeal, or like, willingly. To be willingly. I'm like, if they're prone, can you like be prone on top of them or something? Grappling them. I don't know. Changes to your speed. If an effect it increases your or decreases your speed for a time, any spell of speed you have increases for or decreases by an amount of for this. If an effect increases or decreases your speed for a time, any spell of speed you have increases or decreases by an amount equals for the same time duration. For example, if your speed reaches 0, and you have a climbing speed, your climbing speed is also reaches 0. Similarly, if your speed is halved and you have a fly speed, your fly speed is also halved. Okay. Okay. Unarmed Strike. Unarmed Strike is a melee attack that involves you using your body to damage, grapple, or shove a creature within 5 feet of you. Whenever you use your Unarmed Strike, choose one of the following options for this effect. Damage. You make an attack roll against the target. Your bonus action to hit equals your strength modifier plus your proficiency bonus. On hit, the target takes bludgeoning damage equal to 1 plus your strength modifier. Okay, yep. Per usual, grapple. The target must succeed on a strength or dexterity saving throw. It chooses which, or it has the grappling addition. The DC for the saving throw and any escape attempts equals 8 plus your strength modifier plus your proficiency bonus. This grapple is possible only if the target is no more than one size larger than you, and if you have a hand free to grab it. Shove. The target must succeed on a strength saving throw. It chooses which, or you either push the target 5 feet away or cause it to have a prone condition. Prone is it always been that way? The DC for the saving throw equals 8 plus your proficiency bonus plus your strength modifier plus your proficiency bonus. This shove is possible only if the target is no more than one size larger than you. Okay. Movable about that was the same. I didn't finish reading it, so I wasn't sure. Move to ability check. Okay. Right, because that's on a D20 test. Attack roll, because that's on a D20 test, I assume. Climbing and swimming, or it's another attack. I mean, substantive move. What's it? Dash action. Hidden condition. Interesting. Kind of like the hidden condition, if I remember specifically right, but jump. Not the action guy's gone. Slow condition. I already knew about that. Special speeds. Substantive move. When you move, you can go a distance. Move. Wait. What? Climbing. Huh? Is it climb as part of it? It's not there though. And I've seen climbing speed. I've seen climb. Huh? Oh, you see this is no longer? Does it say no longer part of it? It's remove entries. Subject to move. That what? It's not what I found. Well, it's not. What? You were saying? You removed them? If I'm not mistaken, that right there is the climb speed section. I mean, I agree there should be under move, but like, right there. I think I forgot to do something. It goes without depending the extra movement required for climbing. Some creatures have the spider climbing trait, which allows the other climb speed to work even on the underside of horizontal surfaces. Like exceptionally smooth surfaces, I mentioned there maybe, but I don't know. I had to do that. Well, I'm gonna fly. Cause right, yeah, because the fly speed. Oh, maybe it removed the climbing and swimming feats as a subsection of a move. And special speed as well. So it's a special speeds thing. Ba 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 ba. That's just gone, but that should be gone. Oh, study Shortsword. Yeah, it's gone. Ba ba. This piece right here makes me want to pick more characters have religion, because like checks involving celestial fiends and undead. As what tells me like fiends and undead is what I care about. Well, the characters they fight. The main target is, but what their favorite enemy would be if that was still a thing. But okay, so that seems like most of it. Well, that seems like all of it. So, yeah. I think. I mean, yeah. Overall thoughts. To be positive though, as a D&D person, I do kind of it almost feels like um 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 I'm kind of curious about that, but yeah, I don't know. I kind of feel like range has been kind of messed up a little bit. I again, like I've said already, like it does kind of feel like it might be like it's me being a somebody who plays a lot of range, or I pay more attention to it, so like I'm just noticing it, um, or I'm valuing things a little differently, um, because I care. So it could be me, um, but I like the wild shape stuff for the most part. Um, and the whole like channel nature thing with druids. Um, I I'm not sure how the whole elemental piece thing they've done with druid with the druid. I mean, I want to like it at one point. On one hand I like it. On one hand I miss the whirlwind of air elemental of the air elemental. So like, but you're doing more damage with it though. So well, you're gonna be doing more. Your damage up is a little bit higher. Is higher. Because also have this as well. Assuming your beast strike is an unarmed strike, which it should be. It just isn't specified as such. Yeah. Paladin's interesting. Part of me is a little concerned about power level, but it shouldn't be too different. But beyond the fact that the 20th features moved to 14th, most of it's still the same. I'm just and this piece right here. I am kind of like like mm. But because this thing's not 14th, so like, and it's basically the same thing. There's a little bit of a scaling thing. However, at 14th, it's like one damage less. Beyond that is well, it is the aura is different, but that's also obviously a thing that changes when you get high level. So like, it would be kind of the I like the epic boons going. The epic boons seem to be better now, though. I do think this spell recall one should probably be available to both to all spellcasters. It should be major piece. It should be a creature with a spell character with a spellcasting or pat magic feature, because like barring rangers and bardsmen is dumb. So um I can understand barring it from Arcane Trickster and others Knight, but like having Paladin have a range or not, and then like having not having Bard have it, it's like, do you really hate those two classes? Do you really like um um I'm still I'm not disappointed. I still miss Planner Binding on, and I'm still miss that Planner Binding and Blight are not present on the Druid's list, but it is what it is. I thought I played Ranger Druid anymore. I like the changes to the Smites. It makes it way more clear, and it's just way nicer. I think it's the way it should be done. Zebra Strike should have the same thing done to it as well, because it's the same scenario. Um, or I guess, but should be right before. They'll also have to try to like a long duration can piece to it as well. Like it's just like not prevent opportunity attacks and stuff. But I think some things can jive with it. But I just didn't do allow it just be used as an instantaneous kind of thing as well. But Like you use instantly, then you can maintain concentration to maintain the not provoke opportunity text piece. Um, I don't like the change. This change, the whole ruling a one doesn't you hear about ban because it's taking inspiration back to the point where like it no has no mechanical like it's not bound mechanically or anything. So it's back to like I'm not gonna really use it for my way. It's like way I've tend to use it as like a hidden advantage for characters, and so like if a character's doing something in a way that's like cool, like epic, um, or in character or like, role playing well, I'll roll until I die and like be able to give a hidden advantage to attack or whatever. Um, without the mechanical base, like I was like rolling a one and like obviously you could choose to just give it to a character if you roll a one. Cause, like I'll do times where like you roll a one and it's like, yay one, and like you just like if you roll bad the whole session, and it's like it makes D just not funny anymore. And so it's like, or like you'll get a one, and the opponent will get like two critical hits on against you, then you'll miss like all your attacks. You roll poorly. It's like it just makes the game not fun. So it's like it's a way to get that out of there. And so it's like, um, but beyond that, I'm not forgetting something. Which if I forget something, means I probably don't care that much about it. I'm fine with everything. Um, but yeah, um. Oh well, okay. Something blossoms. It's way too weak. It needs to scale up somehow because the D4s, 5D4s, nothing. Once you pass, I mean, honestly, once you're past fifth level, I mean, actually, on the fifth level so far, but like a 10th, it's literally nothing. It's worth nothing to you. Like you're just splitting apart across multiple creatures. Even at 10th, it's not really. Even before 10th, basically past fifth, it's like a one target thing really, for it to be have any sort of impact. Because like 5D4, it's an average of what so it's 12. No, yes, 12. Yeah, average of 12 HP. Split across however many creatures. 10 foot radius would be an average of 2. So like, and this means you're spending evenly. It's an average of 6 hit points per creature. If you have a 20 wisdom, like 6 makes no difference. If you're spending a use like this, granted, when you wild shape later on, you can activate part there, which means it's actually gonna be used, but it's not make it good. So like having a feature that's gonna I'm gonna use it a little bit at the beginning of my level low level. I'm gonna use it, and then I'm just gonna stop using it until I get that feature, which is at 15th level. I'm really not gonna use it from like I'm like a couple of times in fifth and seventh or eighth, and then I'm not gonna use it from that point until 15th. It's never gonna get used because there's just no purpose in using it. Like actually, even after fifth, I'm probably not using it at all because I use masking word instead. There's no point using it over masking word. Especially it is just better. It just is. Which hey, with Musical Moon Druid, you can cast all your abjuration spells from level 3 onwards, which is now your thing spells. No longer banishment, but Druids never had banishment, I don't think. So, something they did. So that's your, resistance, which I should. They didn't say they changed it, but they call it much. What all is it? Healing word. Cure wounds, whatever it is. Cure wounds. Less restoration. Path without trace. Protection from poison. Dispel magic. Mass healing word. Non-detection. Protection from energy. Freedom of movement. Great restoration. Heal. Yeah. So healing spells basically. That's all it is, and spell magic. Less restoration, which is healing, but so not a lot. Um, but it's something. There's healing and stuff. I think we have pop entry resistance. Which the spells were all here originally. The maybe it's just the new ones. Yeah, it's just the new ones, I think. Or the old ones, and the other ones have changed in here. Like resistance. No. It has changed. I don't like how it changed, but well, no. I like the change they made to it, and then it didn't. Or am I thinking of guidance? Because I think this may only have been published once. I don't want to open it up because last time I did it, the stream crashed. Granted, if it crashed again, I would just end stream. So, but um, so yeah, it is now 7. It is now 7 o'clock. So I am probably entering here. Oh, so, but this is reaction basically. It changed. But yeah, I'm probably going to end stream here because like I could go back to Richard Bikes and recording. Yeah, so there's one more thing I kind of thought of with involving the Druid is one thing is Druids now like previously Druid was pretty empty for the most part of um Druid has big gaps. You have gaps at third. You have gaps where there's nothing present. Now with this update though, there are no gaps at all. And so one thing really came to mind is like, okay, now that this is the case with Druid, could this be the case with other classes? Actually, one worth looking at is it true with the other ones? That's something I didn't find out just now. Yeah, Rogue's full, but Rogue's always been full. Ranger is actually Ranger's missing 17th, but I mean, it's also where he gets 12 full spells, so I'm not gonna read too much into that. But it is worth noting that it's not they're not filling up everything, so. And again, Barb's missing 13th and 17th as well. 17th, so which are both spell levels. So yeah, but and then Cleric is again also is missing 13th and 17th. So which are both spell levels, but you are there your 7th and 8th, 9th level spells. Oh wait, and 15th, 13th, 15th, and 17th. So mostly their spells levels. So how spell levels? Okay. Well, if you look at Wizard for a spell wizard, that's not Wizard, it's Warlock. Oops. So Warlock, 9th, 7th, and the 5th, we might see features there potentially. I have a feeling we might. Well, there's also I don't know. We'll see. Might be stuff there. 18th, there will be something there. It'll be the Elder's Master, and then 17th could be empty, but no, 17th will be. Well, some of that Mystic Arcanum, so no. World Career will be full. Wizard is one that popped at me because you have third to be subclass features, so but we need second might be Arcanic Recovery or something. But so the Alpha 5th is empty, 7th is empty, 9th is empty, 11th is empty. We've seen that 13th, 15th, and 17th have been empty, so we may see Wizard have more features potentially, which would be kind of interesting. I'm also like kind of scared of that possibility, kind of sort of. It's like I don't know if I want to see Wizard have more features because of how much spells they have and how much power they have in their spells. Well, because of the spells they have, and then the sheer quantity spells they have. Although Sorceress another one has very few features in it. So again, 5th is empty, 7th is empty, 9th is empty, 11th is empty. 13th and 15th, 13th and 15th, 17th is not because it's a magic thing. So like we could potentially see 13th. But we could very well see 11th, 9th, 7th, and 5th end up being not end up being filled and having a spell there. So that makes something there. Sorcerer probably would. I would imagine Sorcerer probably somehow evolves sorcery points and using them in more ways. Wizard, I don't know. There's not a lot you can do, but they could find something. I also knows our house. Would we be getting these things? How full is Artificer? Do I have to click there? Yeah, Artificer is missing 13, 17. So like that wouldn't surprise me. That's the same thing that Rain Bard was missing with 13, 17. So I would not be surprised if they say that way. I honestly don't expect Artificer to change much, if at all, because like it's so recent, and it has cantrips and first level. So like, I feel like they're actually not going to do Artificer. The Artificer might not do Artificer, though. The spell level subclass levels are different because they have it at 5th instead of 6th. They have it at 9th instead of 10th, and they have it at 15th instead of 14th. They're very minor changes, so like maybe not, but so like, they're not that big a deal. So I would also not be surprised if you do not see Artificer at all. Though I do want about spell casting. It's the one thing. Like, what spell casting list do they use? Now, what is changed? Because I assume it's arcane, but then what modifications to arcane are made? No illusion spells. No. What was? No. Necromancy spells. I don't know. But the thing to think about. Also, it probably they don't think what Bard has to give them the healing spells they would normally have. But yeah, fire's mostly full for the most part. They do kind of fill with subclasses, but with feats, barbarian also is full. So monk is full. I don't know what looks the next one. Probably I'm imagining because they talk about like upcoming martial classes, and we've dealt with all the spellcasters so far, apart from the 3 arcane ones. So, I mean, and like there's obviously we had any arcane ones, but also not any of the martial ones either. So, I have a sneaking suspicion the next book is probably going to be at least it was be like fighter, like they might do fighter, and then they might do monk and barbarian because like kind of like here they did cleric as one priest, and then they did two the priest ones with, and so I see them doing fighter as like the primary martial one, and then monk and barbarian, and then I can see them doing wizard and then doing warlock and sorcerer potentially. Like all three do all three together. The first time, I feel the first time I've been more like to put content out there. And now that I'm doing 1 and 2, hopefully it won't be as big of a gap as it was this time. But yeah, but it'd be interesting because of how much fuller the Druid one was. I would be interested to see if this all is true, or it could be coincidence because all the elements we've seen, we only have evidence of like one. What's Cleric's situation normally? So Cleric did fill up significantly. Cleric filled up 3rd and 7th and 9th. They also moved something off of 17th as well. So with 13 and 15 being left open still. And then but Druid had 3rd is filled, 5th, 7th, 9th, 11th, 13th, 15th, 17th were all filled. And these are the same gaps that are present in Wizard. And so I wonder if Wizard might end up being filled up too. Then again, different spells, different power level of the spells. So maybe not. Also, with what we've seen from spell recall, I would be somewhat surprised. Well, they are it is a random, but these feel almost like a replacement for spell mastery and signature spells. They may not be exactly like they're not exactly the same thing. they're similar, but it's random and it's different levels. So, and where Signature Spells is just like automatic ones. And Spell Mastery is you get 2 usages of usage from two third level spells for that spell out. So it's auto. Yeah, Signature Spells is the first spell you can cast at will, right? What's Spell Mastery then Signature Spells? Yeah, that's spell slot. So yeah, I wouldn't. So like we could still see these, but I don't know. But yeah, so it'll be interesting to see where it goes from here. Like I said, I would if I had to bet money, I'd bet money on Fighter. The next one we see is Fighter. Um, so and they all been kind of hitting at stuff from Fighter about weapon stuff. They have this piece, and like this is pretty broad. This is pretty broad. This is 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 not. We haven't really beyond Boomerang and Yokawa. We really haven't, and like some firearms to an extent. We haven't really seen new weapon options. This is for certain, and it's like new weapon options for certain. This is pretty specific, and and also talk about in Shortsword. They have to talk about like differences between a Scimitar and a Shortsword. I feel they've been kind of hitting at it, and I feel like we'll probably get a Fighter next, if I guess. But again, who knows? And who knows how long it's going to be until then. But without further ado, yeah. It's yeah. With that, bye bye. Bye.